never be out of shot. So, okay. So we are here to do. We're firing up the old GameCube again, but we're doing something a little bit more low key. We're gonna do what I like to call, or what I've been thinking of as, a Melee Trophy Yammering Appreciation Stream. Just gonna let this intro play out in all of its magical wonder. Sorry, I can't help but whistle along. That wolf render did things to me back in the day, man. You don't even know. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Adi. We are here to do, if it wasn't clear from the top of the video, we are here to do what I like to call a Melee Trophy Appreciation Stream. So, what this is something that was partially inspired by Kerbunny, uh, Kerbunny's render review videos, where he talks about old Nintendo 64 era artwork. And I thought those videos were really cool, so kind of something that I wanted to talk about that was kind of close to my heart is the trophies in Melee for the GameCube. Um, so where do I start? Because I kind of want to give this some preamble before I really get into the meat and potatoes. So I guess I started playing video games probably somewhere around 1995 and 96, born in 1991. Drinking some iced tea. So I started playing video games around 1993 or 1996. I'm sorry. Um, and then I really got into Nintendo maybe 1997 when I got my first video game console that you hooked up to a TV. My first console ever was a Game Boy, but first ever console was a Game Boy. Second was N64, and then I really, really got into Nintendo. It's just, I don't know, just all the games on it kind of spoke to my young mind. Really kind of, you know, really kind of made my imagination run wild. And as somebody that was like fully entrenched in like the Nintendo 64 side of things, if Nintendo 64 was like kind of like MCU Phase 1, game Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube was like the Avengers. And I really got into Super Smash Brothers for the 64 because I love Fox and I love Mario, and then a guy at the playground was like, "Hey, there's the video game where you can play as both those characters and they can fight," and I was like, "Whoa, that's cool as hell." So like Melee was interesting because it was right at like the GameCube's launch, but it wasn't like such that they didn't have like they didn't have like the GameCube renders. So basically, what we're looking at here today is kind of a Nintendo, kind of like HD Nintendo 64 models in some regards. And we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about all these characters and what they mean to me, and uh, we'll go from there. All right, so we're gonna start with Mario, known worldwide as Mr. Nintendo. Mario used his incredible jumping ability to thwart the evil Bowser time after time. While he's best known as a hero, Mario has played many roles, including racer, doctor, golfer, and villain. His tastes have changed over 20 years of gaming. He long ago swapped the colors of his shirt and his overalls. So, another thing that I should mention is we at the Adi the Adi clan did not get internet until maybe like 2005 or so, and so a lot of like the physical ways that you would get like lore of a game, like the instruction manual or those big players guides, like those were how I consumed video game media primarily because I was one of those kids that loved to read. You read, in those things you read about the video games. So it was kind of my, best of both worlds. But Melee was kind of the first game was camera. Um, so Melee was kind of the first game where you kind of like it was the first Smash Brothers to have like auxiliary stuff going on. Like my camera, there's an auxiliary thing going on. I really need to like tape this, like hot glue this to the fucking table or something. But yeah. So Melee was kind of the first game that was like, oh yeah, here's this like all this auxiliary stuff. Like characters that aren't necessarily in the game, but they thought it was important to showcase for whatever reason. All right, so these were like cool because like you had the oh yeah, so one of the things that I like about Nintendo 64 Mario is that he has a mullet, which that's kind of always colored my perception of Mario just as like a super 80s 90s kind of dude. And then these were cool. I'm not really gonna read I'm not really gonna read these because they're kind of like more technical uh, stuff. But like these were cool to like kind of see side by the melee. These were kind of cool to see side by like the newest render of whatever character because it's like, oh, look how cool these melee renders are. Also, shouts out to Super Mario 63. I kind of like I kind of got on the internet boom late, so I missed a lot of like that early YouTube. I missed that early YouTube, but like Mario 63, I'm aware that it's all timer and great and all. Donkey Kong, well now he prefers the laid-back jungle lifestyle, the construction site mischief. DK is often forced back into action by the Kremlin crew. The great ape is quite fast despite his burly physique, and he keeps his strength up with a steady diet of his favorite food, bananas. His one and only extravaganza and piece of clothing is the necktie. So, DK, DK kind of looks fucked up, don't he? It's like they didn't quite know how to like render the fur, or this is like, wow, they really. I'm just kind of like now looking at some of these, so you might get some of my off the cuff vibes. This is very like Donkey Kong Country 1, where like his fur looked like a cardigan, and then also like the ends of like where his fur ends and his skin begins kind of looks like sleeves. Like Diddy Kong had that going on, especially. Yeah, and it's an insane jump in quality from it's an insane jump in quality from like where he is like in what is assumedly Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong 64, and um, it's kind of insane where he's at here, where it's like he actually kind of has like realistic looking fur. It's like interesting that way. Link, even in his youth, Link was already becoming the warrior who would carry the destiny of Hyrule and many other lands on his shoulders. His epic struggles against the forces of darkness are written in legend, and he has found Princess Zelda and the Archfiend Ganondorf by the awesome power of the Triforce. So Link was definitely one of those characters. Like I guess like the whole Legend of Zelda line I kind of missed out on because like my older cousin really got into Ocarina of Time and he was like not very good. I don't want to say he wasn't very good, but like he didn't have Nintendo power, so like he was stuck. And so, he was very much like, "Oh, Legend of Ocarina of Time isn't a game you would like, I don't think. If I'm getting stuck, you certainly will." And like it's just Legend of like that kind of reinforced my whole like sort of attitude towards Legend of Zelda. Although now that I've read a lot of like medieval fantasy like as an adult and as a teenager, I can definitely appreciate what they were going for with Link a little more. Just real boy hero type shit. It's kind of funny because like in Melee or in Brawl, they really made it so like you look at it and he's like, oh, he's wearing chainmail, but now it looks like he's just wearing like a nice undershirt. I'm really amazed that they didn't. I'm really amazed that they didn't go blue tunic for his like adventure mode trophy or whatever. Although they did get the, although they did get the like the stabbing down shot he gets on Ganondorf, which that's cool. But like, I don't know, I don't know, it's neat. And like I think the blue tunic is the most powerful if I understand things about Zelda, but like a lot of people just stick with the red tunic because it's like whatever. By the time you get to the water temple, Samus Aran, the intergalactic bounty hunter, full name is Samus Aran, clad in a power suit made by the Chozo race, and uses their enhanced blood. She cleared the planet Zebes. I know it's Zebs, but I'll just pronounce it Zebes. About Metroid infestation. Samus is an orphan, sole survivor of the space pirate raid that destroyed an Earth colony named K2L. Alright. So we get some action poses. Like, Samus was definitely the character that, like, really kind of. Like, the character that going into Smash 64 I knew nothing of, but, like, really kind of, like, fucking expanded my imagination as time went on. Just because I was really like I played Smash pretty early, like 1999. So like you play a lot of like I was really into sci-fi at the time. So like anyone with like a gun arm that looked vaguely robotic was like I'm into this. And then you've got some like and then like look at how like this is clearly like the Super Metroid. Like I don't even think that's the Varia suit. I think it's just the naked like I think that's just the whatever, like the bear power suit, and then you get like, or it might be the bear. I don't know, but this is very clearly like the Super Nintendo version or something. But then you get like this super like crazy like you can see all the grooves in the armor and shit. Like this is so fucking cool. And then yeah, you get obviously the why can't like side tangent. So like everybody made fun of that one kid for years who was on like the NSO or not NSO. What was this shit called? Miiverse. everybody made fun of that one kid on Miiverse for years because he was like, why can't Metroid crawl? And like, I just think it's funny because it's like, yeah, that's a genuine question. Like, that's like, if Metroid had been like made today, obviously there would have been some sort of like movement mechanic that wasn't so as like a. I don't think you'd have to like get it as a power up, and then B, um, A. I don't think you'd have to get it as a power up, and then B, like you to be like less like archaic than fucking that. But anyway, Yoshis are gentle, fleet of foot dinosaurs. I think they're home on idyllic Yoshi Island. They come from a variety of colors and have evolved into an interesting traits to help them increase their numbers. They can transform anything they swallow into an egg with adhesive tongues and bottomless bellies. Yoshis have been known to eat anything. I definitely carried like this is so weird to say, but I like carried like an irrational hatred of this little guy for fucking years. Just because like you got like okay, so like Smash 64, like you've got like all these cool characters, and you've got something that kind of looks vaguely like Barney, and also like the fucking Yoshi team was the worst part of Melee's classic mode, and or not Melee's classic mode, 64's classic mode, and then all the colors and super happy joy kind of place. But like like with Link and everything else, I've kind of grown to appreciate Yoshi. I remember really enjoying like Yoshi's story from like an aesthetic point of view. Even when I played it in like 1990, God, that would have been like 2000 probably. Just, yeah. Also, you get like a really weird if they like if this were today, if this were today and they had this pose, like you could see this poor bastard's uvula. Um, Yoshi looking vaguely like a Koopa here. Although it's cool that they kind of like showcase the two things that he's most known for in game. Just like fucking doing the ton thing and then doing the ground pound. Okay, so we've got Kirby, the denizen of the far-off, peaceful planet Popstar. Kirby became a citizen of Dreamland after defeating King Dedede. Even though he's only about 8 inches tall, Kirby is an extremely skilled technician. He has the unique ability to absorb powers of his enemies and make him a versatile adventurer. I definitely really liked the idea of Kirby back in the day because it was just like, oh yeah, that's cool. You can just do different B moves depending on who you're fighting or whatever. That I think like everybody's like, oh, Sakurai has a Kirby bias or whatever, but really it's like I don't know, like that was like from whatever like when I think of when I think of playing like Smash 64 especially, I think of like my cousin absorbing like whoever me or my other cousin were playing and like just doing Kirby shenanigans. Let's see. Kirby's small size let him dodge many attacks. And then like, oh yeah, and then you got like Game Boy Kirby, which is neat. Oh yeah, okay. So I guess I kind of said it at the top, but like Star Fox 64 is Star Fox 64. I definitely consider to be like one of the most. I wouldn't say perfect game, but like definitely my favorite game of all time. And like this render of Fox specifically, like has a lot of happy memories because, like I said, I was obsessed with the game. Beat the easy route like 100 times, and then I got the like Nintendo Power, like the Nintendo Power Player's Guide out of like an EB Games or something that or like a KB that was like clearing out their strategy guides for Nintendo 64 games. So I just like bought this, and then I'm like, and then I like unlocked all the it's just like a cliche where like you fucking go home and you read it and you're like, oh shit, I didn't know. And so like I don't think I 100% of the game eventually, like in college, I think. But then ended up like I ended up deleting it because I ended up deleting the high score because like I was like I tried to replicate it, but like clearly I was like on some other level when I did it because I could not do it again. But anyway, I think this super polygonal like render of Fox is super cool, and like that's kind of what I think of when I think of Fox. But anyway, Fox McCloud is the leader of a band for hire adventurers for hire known as Star Fox. Fox and his fellow pilots, Pepe, Slippy, and Falco, patrol the islands to spin their mothership, the Great Fox. From the cockpit of his R-Wing leads this ceaseless pursuit of the scientist Andros, who doomed Fox's father. And then, like, I think this is like, I think, like, I don't, like, I think this is like the one model where I'm like, okay, this is like a significant downgrade because, like, I don't know, there's just something like that's just delightfully cartoonish about the Star Fox cast, and we should stay that way. But then, like, he has like realistic fur, and he's just like pissed off. It's like, what are we doing here? And then we got the like, oh, that's such a cool move. His like up A, like the kick flip. I think this is like one of the only references to Smash 64. Yo, hey Ray Roar, who are we booing exactly? All right, I'll let you figure that out. But anyway, it's safe to say that Pikachu is the most famous and popular Pokemon of all Pokemon. It has electric pouches on his both cheeks. When it's in danger, it shoots electricity at enemies. Although Pikachu can evolve into Raichu by exposure to Thunderstorm, many trainers like Pikachu so much they don't let it evolve. Funny. I do shower quite regularly, Ray Roar. Thank you very much. Um, I I don't really know if necessarily Pikachu was like. I guess he's kind of fat in this, but like I don't really think he was like fat Pika, like first form fat Pika to begin with. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, and there's a lot of like I think it's really funny that like Smash in general is kind of like um I think it's funny that like Smash in general kind of perpetuates like the American anime stuff where it's like, hey, like Ash doesn't let his Pikachu evolve, and like the Four Kids voice cast has been kind of forever, I think, which I think is neat because that was the way that I like absorbed Pokemon at the time. So to like have something that was like in sync with the Four Kids anime was kind of neat. And then, like, I love how it says that Pikachu is the most famous and popular of all Pokemon. Just like, just like, buy Pikachu plushies, you shitheads. All right, so we got that. We got this fucking little red hat. Ness. Ness is a young boy who mastered the psychic power known as PSI. Ness was living a normal life in the suburbs of Onet until a meteor crashed in a nearby mountain and sent him into a wild adventure, believing the ultimate powers of wisdom, courage, and freedom. That proves that some heroes come in small packages. I think it's really funny that like I remember like kind of being like fascinated by Ness when I played as him in Smash 64 because I just like I didn't know I didn't know like what kind of game Earthbound was. I didn't know what they were going for. So it's just like, oh, this like neat little kid. He has a baseball bat. It's just enough of like a distilled like American little kid, image to where you like, yeah, where it's like you kind of identify with Ness. I don't know. All right, so we got I like how really the only thing that's changed about Ness is like the color of his shirt, and for some reason the fidelity of his backpack. Like, like it actually looks like it's made out of like backpack material, but this Earthbound one just is like a potato. Although I definitely would recommend like if you have a preference for if you have a like a perchance for collecting like instruction booklets or like you just want to look up instruction booklets online, I highly recommend just reading through the Earthbound one because it's pretty neat art and then also just like full of lore. All right, and then we got his like his I forget what the name of the baseball team. It's like the Genshin Tigers or something like. Oh shit! And like his yo-yo is tiger stripes in this all. That's neat. I never noticed that. Captain Falcon. Usually a relentless bounty hunter, Captain Falcon shifts gears to become a race pilot once the F-Zero Grand Prix begins. His beloved racer, the Blue Falcon, can exceed the speed of sound, and he knows how to drive. Who can is one of the greatest all-time greats. Now 36 years old, Captain Falcon wears his F-Zero visor. So I think it's like I think it's really funny that like the only render of Falcon they had was the melee render because they're like, yeah, we're not gonna like copy paste like the Nintendo like the SNES manual comic. Uh, F Zero was definitely like the first game I bought because of Smash Bros. Like I just was at a video game store and saw F Zero, and I'm like, oh shit, that's where the Captain Falcon guy is from. And then I just bought the game from there. Definitely, and like it definitely shaped kind of how like I look at art, as dumb as that is, because like the F Zero X manual is very like when it gets to like the character art and stuff. There's like it's very like Rob Liefeld esque, like kind of like '90s peak X Men sort of art style, and I just thought that was super cool. And like the fact that like they eventually got away from that is kind of lame to me. I don't know. Like I get that like the GameCube was all about like action figure, kind of plastic action figure look, but like I don't know, I kind of miss the Liefeld art. Um, yeah, and then yeah, you just kind of got his melee. Ooh, I love this Bowser. Ooh, this has to be. I don't know if this is wait. Yeah, okay. This is. Oh yeah, this is definitely like 64 Bowser. Yes, I remember like um I remember really like playing a lot of. I remember like being excited for Melee because at like the Kmart demo kiosk, you could play as Bowser. And any game where you can play as Bowser, whether it be like Mario Kart or like any of the Mario sports games, like I'm into it, bro. I still am. Just because Bowser's like a neat character. Anyway, Bowser has a long history of kidnapping Princess Peach to lure his nemesis Mario into traps. He leads an enormous group of mischievous creatures, not the least of which are his 7 children. With outrageous strength, flammable breath, and more spikes than you can shake a star rod at, Bowser's a constant threat. I again, like, I care entirely too much about Mario lore, but I hate the fact that they were like, oh yeah, the Koopalings aren't Bowser's kids. I don't know. I just think it's funny that like they realize like they realize that like they realize that like Bowser has like a Henry VIII complex, I think, and they're just like, that's not what we're doing here. And you know what? I can't say I blame them, but it's so much more interesting, than the alternative of like, yeah, they're just like these tiny generals. It's like, yeah, that's kind of boring. And then like yeah, like this looks cool, but like Bowser looks like an animatronic at a theme park in the '90s in game, which is kind of funny. And then you've got like his melee render where it's like it actually looks like a lizard's hide, and like just I don't know. And you got. Oh, I always thought that that was cool that you could like see his eyes, like he's trying to be all sneaky. Yeah, this is definitely a 64 render for sure. Peach presides over the Mushroom Kingdom in her huge castle. Her loyal subject Toad does his best to protect her, but always seems to fail spectacularly. Besides her royal duties, Peach is interested in both tennis and golf. Since she is so monogamous, she'll even design to play a few matches with the evil Bowser. I always thought that that was like a funny like piece of lore. That it's like, oh hey, I'm just gonna be like diplomatic and play with this asshole who fucking tried to kidnap me, like a month ago or whatever. I don't know. I just always thought that was kind of neat. Just like outside of like, I mean, there are a couple obviously like Sonic and Crash Bandicoot, but like, what other like I think that like being like tennis partners with the guy with like the villain of your series is something that's like unique to the Mario series with how often that happens. Yeah, this is definitely. I always like this render of Peach. She just looks like a nice like she looks like she's like part of a nice chess set or something here. And then you've got like I think they were like I like her kind of like I like her floofy N64 dress too. But what I was about to say was that like fucking like Smash Bros changed like the dress design on Peach and like pretty much all the princesses forever because like you get this like real like floral design, which I think you can obviously see in like her ultimate render better, but like I think it's funny that like they could have just given Peach they could have just given Peach a pink dress, but like the fact that like Sakurai or whoever was on the art team was like, let's go ham is super funny to me. And then you've got her Daisy all with the blue shoes. I guess they match the earrings and the pendant. But okay, I like how uh, I always, I don't I don't know why I don't know why these I don't know why like the 8-bit renders of the ice climbers always cracked me up. But like I don't know, like the fact that they didn't I don't know, like I would like to know like what the thought process was of just like, yeah, let's just use their 8-bit render, fuck it. Like I guess the idea is that like yeah, that's how people would know the ice climbers is like their 8-bit counterparts, but like I don't know. It's just funny. That's Bobo in the blue and Nana in the pink. Those two stars of the game, ice climbers scaled many an icy summit in their mountaineering careers back in the glory days. They chased eggplants, cucumbers, and other vegetables that inevitably fell from frosty summits where a condor reigned supreme. They're rarely seen apart. I just think it's funny that I think it's cool that I don't know. I just think it's neat that the ice climbers got in the game. They could have like put like whatever like the new hotness was in the game, but they didn't. And you know what? I appreciate that very very much. Um, and I remember like because I think they're right next to Bowser on the character select screen, so I remember like playing as Bowser and being like, who are these two like snow children? They're neat. And then you got like I guess they're going for like like it's like this is them then and this is them now, like that kind of like transformation type thing. I just think it's funny that like they're both in action poses doing like the colon D face or like the smiley face. All right, what do we got here? Okay, we got like the belay move or whatever that's called. That's neat. Zelda also looking like a chess piece. The Crown Princess of Hyrule, Zelda entrusted Link with the future of Hyrule after a revelation came to her in the world of dreams. She knows much about the Triforce In fact, the only person who likely knows more about the Triforce lore is Ganondorf himself, whom Zelda evaded in Ocarina of Time by transforming into her alter ego, Sheik. I just like Zelda and Sheik are neat. Like I don't know, it's just that's all I've got to say about that. It's just a neat character, and I'm really like pissed that they kind of like split up Zelda and Sheik later on. I don't know. I kind of thought that I kind of thought that they'd maybe like patch it to where like you could use like maybe like left B to transform into Zelda or Sheik. Like they gave Terry four moves in Ultimate, but oh well. Sheik. This is Zelda's alter ego using a variation of the name of the ancient Sheikah tribe. She appears before Link and teaches him melodies, instrumental to his success. But not that she's just a quick change artist, but rather she's able to instantaneously alter her clothing and her eye and skin color by using her magical skills. Okay, I misread that. Yeah, but I always thought that like I can't imagine what it was like to like play like the Super Nintendo Zeldas and then play Ocarina of Time and just get wrapped into the story and then get that twist in the end. I was like this like spider monkey kind of looking pose. Luigi. Okay, yeah, this is 1000% like Mario Kart 64. Although Mario's younger brother has always played second fiddle, Luigi garnered the spotlight with his very own game, Luigi's Mansion. Things are looking up for the eternal understudy. He's even picked up his own rival, Waluigi. The day he's referred to as the lean, mean green machine may not be too far off. I just think it's funny that like whoever I think Sakurai wrote these trophy descriptions. I could be wrong about that, but like I think it's funny that like I don't know. I think it's funny that like Sakurai is Luigi's biggest champion, and whether that's like a joke or not is very funny to me. And then you got his, his just taunt that does damage, which is neat. Jiggly, jiggly, jiggly. The Nemesis, my Nemesis, if you watch the last Pokemon Blue stream, this balloon Pokemon invites its opponents in with its big round eyes and it lulls them to sleep with a soothing lullaby. It puffs itself up when angry, and while it may look adorable, it's not to be trifled with. It's known for several techniques. Jigglypuff evolves into Wigglytuff after exposure to a moonstone. Again, like I always thought it was neat that Jigglypuff was like the second Pokemon rep. I don't know. I just thought Jigglypuff was funny in the anime, so like it was cool to see her there. Oh fuck yeah! So I remember like there were two characters that was very excited about going into Melee because I got like a Nintendo Power like a Game Informer that had like the oh yeah like this is the full roster or whatever, and Mewtwo is definitely the character where I was like oh fuck yeah, because I had just watched Pokemon the first movie and Mewtwo obviously coolest fucking Pokemon in that movie, a genetically created Pokemon. Mewtwo is the result of many long years of research by a solitary scientist. Although Mewtwo was bioengineered from the fossil legendary Pokemon Mew, its size and character are far different than its ancestor. Its battle abilities have been radically heightened, making it ruthless. So I guess they're going with like the Mr. Fuji created Mewtwo kind of lore, but yeah, but I remember like loving the fact that Mewtwo was in the game and loving how he played, even though like he was a lot more technical than some of the other characters. But I don't know, just the fact that he was here is cool. And you got like cool arm cross. Ooh, cool arm cross Mewtwo. Let's see. Marth. I remember like again, the Adi clan did not have the internet, and so I was definitely one of those people that was playing Melee and unlocked this motherfucker one day. I was like, "What the fuck? Where? What are you? What kind of game is Fire Emblem?" The betrayed prince of the kingdom of Altia, the blood of the hero Andre flows through Mars today. He was forced into exile when the kingdom of Delua invaded Altia. Then, wielding his divine sword Falchion, he led a revolt that defeated the Dark Dragon Medeus. Afterwards, Altea was annihilated by King Harden of Achaea. Again, another character that just kind of looks like a fucking chess piece. And then you got like this fucking crazy render of Marth. Oh yeah, and then I guess like Game and Watch also like because I don't know how, but my cousin got like Game and Watch Gallery on like his Game Boy in like 1990, like soon after uh like he somehow got his hands on Game and Watch Gallery 1, which I think was European exclusive, so I have no fucking idea how he had it. But like I remember just kind of like falling in love with like the simplicity of the Game and Watch games, and I remember being really excited when Mr. Game and Watch was revealed. It's like, oh shit, it's that, First appearing in 1980, Mr. The Game & Watch series is the father of all portable liquid crystal games. The main character is simple and monochrome, but it has a timeless individuality. 39 different games in the series, and they've sold over 43 million units. Pictured at left is the particularly popular Fire model. I think I'm trying to think of like what my favorite like Game and Watch game is, just based off of like I don't know, just based off of like what's just based off of name, and I think it's Mario Cement Factory because I like the idea of like Mario just having the most Italian ass job you could possibly have. All right, the resident of the totally flat world, Mr. Game & Watch's frame by frame movement is distinctive. His image is known far and wide and respected by gamers everywhere. In Melee, he heralds sausages with the chef technique. I like you know what? Like getting older, I definitely appreciated Mr. Game and Watch a lot more. Just goofy little guy. Half his shit doesn't work for some reason. His shield doesn't work, but you know what? Fucking God bless you. I like how he's the only one that doesn't have like the alternate color. Like I guess Sakurai was super proud of his little 2D guy that he was just like, yeah, we don't need other colors. Fuck you. Dr. Mario. I always love this trophy because he looks like an ice cream in his fucking like big ass lab coat and his white his white uh his white pants. He just looks like a delicious ice cream. And I never really noticed that, but like he's supposed to be fatter than Mario, which I think is really funny. Alright, immaculate in his medical garb, Dr. Mario destroys killer viruses with his amazing vitamin capsule. With his dedicated nurse, Princess Peach, who decides Dr. Mario spends day in the laboratory working on a new miracle cure. Somehow, he managed to keep up with all the new viruses that have arisen over the years. And then you got, like, I like how it's like, I like how somebody was like, yeah, fuck his, like, white dress pants. You should wear jeans for some reason. I guess because like he's Mario, so like obviously he's gonna wear like jeans and work shoes. But like, let's see. Oh yeah, and he's like doing the roll. Ooh. So Ganondorf, like I said at the top, Legend of Zelda for me was like the very like, oh, this game's for like adults. Like even my cousin can't beat Ocarina of Time. So like when I found out that like the villain of that game, Ganondorf, was gonna be in the game, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like this super powerful wizard dude or whatever, and then like you play him and he's just a Falcon clone, which that might have been like one of the first times I was ever like disappointed by a video game. Just like that sting of just like, ah, like this sucks. Alright, and then yeah, and then we got I always like how broad I always like how like insanely broad his shoulders are. Like look at these. They're just like like Ganondorf is jacked, and then you get him like in game, and he's just like this weird, like middle-aged looking dude. And then of course, like the sword that he doesn't, the sword that he does not have, which is very funny to me. They really, I like how the only reason why Ganondorf is in the game at all is because like somebody just had that that demo that people think led to like Twilight Princess or whatever, where it's like him and Link sword fighting. Somebody somebody just had that laying around and they're just like, okay, cool, like yeah, that's awesome. We'll just use that one. Ooh, here we go. I always love the fact that like now that I think about it, and maybe I've just been poisoned by other crossover games or whatever, but like I always like now looking back at it, like Wolf would have been the optimal choice for a second Smash Bros. Rep, but I'm so glad it was Falco. I love Falco so much. Just this fucking Brooklyn Italian ass fucking bird guy. Did y'all ever see? Did y'all ever see that one fucking like Tumblr thing where it was like someone realizing that Falco was like Italian, and so like they're like talking about him like getting in trouble with his parents, and his mom's like fucking do something about it, and his dad's like I'm watching Wheel of Fortune, like the most real like like Italian fucking interaction ever. But anyway, a Star Fox team Falco's constant air of casual indifference belies his precise piloting skills. He avoids discussion what he did before joining, but many consider it likely that Captain that his past was filled with reckless behavior. He's not much for cooperation, but he does respect those more skilled than he is. So basically, just everyone you've ever worked with. And then super polygonal, and then like super high res, I think I'd have to go back and brawl, but I'm pretty sure you can see individual feathers on this fucker by that point. Um, Individual head feathers, I guess. Got young Link. Link's younger incarnation is often considered to be the true Link. He was a young boy at the very first Legend of Zelda game, and he has appeared as a youth in most of the subsequent games since his debut on the original NES in 1987. Link's appearance has changed over and over again, each time adding the mysterious to his mystique of his incomparable story. Wait, just occurred to me. We gotta go back to Link real quick. Oh yeah, okay. Ganondorf said to be the sole man of the Gorilla tribe. In 100 years, Ganondorf aspired to conquer the world. He plundered pieces of the sacred Triforce from the Temple of Time when Link pulled the Master Sword from his pedestal. When the Triforce power in Ganondorf's precision, Hyrule was plunged in darkness until Link defeated him. Alright. Does it say that Link debuted in Legend of Zelda, or hold on? I gotta look because I don't know if they're. I think they do, but hold on, I gotta look because I don't know for sure. What the fuck? Did I miss him? Okay. Okay, it also says that he debuted in the Legend. Okay, that's weird. Because they're like, young Link is the true Link, but then they also say adult Link debuted in the same game, which is really weird. I guess, if you hadn't unlocked Young Link yet, you wouldn't be like, why did you say that he debuted in Ocarina of Time? But, that's just me being pedantic as usual. Sorry if you've just heard this music loop over and over again. I wish there was something I could do about that. Also, Lon Lon Milk. I like I like how it's like him drinking the Lon Lon milk, him finishing the Lon Lon milk. And you got Pichu, who's gotta have my favorite fucking like victory, like my favorite trophy pose. I don't know if that's him T posing necessarily, but he definitely looks like he's like, hey, it's a me, Pichu. Okay, the tiny mouse Pokemon identifiable by its big ears. Pichu evolves into Pikachu. It's not very skilled at storing up electrical energy, and will sometimes discharge a dart. Although it's small, it has enough electrical power to give even an adult quite a shock. It's often startled by its own power. I always thought it'd be funny, like if they went with like the full, they like they committed to the full bit with like the baby thing, where it's like yeah, also starring Baby Wigglytuff and like or Igglybuff or whatever the fuck, and like Baby Mewtwo or whatever. But what the hell? Okay, he's like okay, I couldn't tell if he was like squinted, like he was like doing a mad face or whatever. But all right, Pichu, lightest character. Okay, and then okay, I I don't know what it was, but I think it might have been the fire. I could like it was like Marth, but he had like the fire going on. So I loved me some Roy, the son of the Lord of the Foray Principality. Roy was studying in Ostia when the kingdom of Bern invaded League of Lycia. His father fell ill at this time, so Roy assumed the leadership of his Foray's armies. After a fateful meeting with Princess Guinevere, his destiny became inextricably linked with the fate of the entire continent. Love me some Roy. I think Roy is cool as fuck. And like I get that he's just like he's like a low tier Marth, but I don't give a shit. He's cool as fuck to me. Alright, and then you got what the hell? Okay, yeah, it's just better armor. Okay, that makes sense. Who built the wireframes and to what purpose remains a mystery. There's a collection of wires which has sparse framework for bones and organs and lends them to a rather disturbing appearance. They look rather big and powerful, but in reality, both their offensive and defensive abilities are subpar. I love the wireframes. I think like conceptually for like little goober enemies, like you don't get much better than the wireframes. Although I do love me the fighting polygon team. I think they're the best, but I don't know. There's like something about like a fucking skeletal thing where you can like see its heart and shit. It's crazy. And then you got the female. This is the female model of the fighting wireframes. The female abilities are roughly the same as the male models, although all fighting wireframes lack the ability to use special techniques and their attacks lack any real physical strength. Additionally, they're slow and therefore can be easy to outmaneuver. They tend to attack in gangs. Alright, and then I think here is where they like tell you, okay, the multi-man melee mode consists of 10-man, 3-minute, endless, and other such matches, which pit you against the fighting wireframes under varied rules. Of particular note is Cruel Melee, where the wireframes pull no punches. They'll come after you with a single-minded fury rarely seen by CPU opponents. Okay, yeah, this is the part where they're like, yeah, also, by the way, we have like a super hard mode. Giga Bowser. I remember like a friend had unlocked everything in Melee somehow. I think other than the trophies. And like he I saw Giga Bowser for the first time and like shit about chat myself because I was just like, wow, that's so fucking cool, you know? I mean, look at him, he's got bigger horns, like he's got kind of the Super Saiyan hair that I'm just realizing, bigger spikes, and even more imposing bigger than the original King of the Koopas. Giga Bowser is roughly twice the size of scale, fire breathing, spike studded Super Smash Bros. Melee counterpart. That could not have been any more cumbersome of a sentence. Anyway, predictably, this monstrous creature's offensive and defensive powers are great higher than those of the regular Bowser. Good luck defeating this colossus. And like Sakurai has rightfully received a lot of criticism for like, oh, I wanted to make Bowser more bestial because that's how I remember him in Super Mario Brothers. And like, I don't know, like I think like a director like making a call like that is super neat, even if it's not necessarily like, even if it's detrimental to like what you think the character should be. I don't know. I just think because like now you wouldn't make that call if it's not like lore accurate to whatever game is the new hotness. Then like we're gonna get ass mad about it, which Master Hand awaits anyone who survives the long and difficult road to the final destination. Symbolic link between the real world and the imaginary battlefields of Melee. It's quite a handful of battles. And just because it wears a white glove doesn't mean it fights clean. Get ready to be flipped, swatted, and punched and poked like crazy. I always thought that like Master Hand was technically like I get that like fan fiction has done a lot for Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but like I don't know. I just think it's neat. Like, they could have easily been like, "Oh, hey, here's fucking Bowser. Like, here's, like some Megatron X looking thing." But hey, we're whatever. All right, winner. The master hand loves to create the alter ego. It's impulsive and destructive, consumed with that of a hollow feeling which comes from destroying one's own creations. The hand appears when the player clears an obstacle quickly, and master hand's power is low. You only have one chance to defeat the I don't know. I just thought like introducing another hand was interesting. I wish that they'd like gone like full born with it and been like, oh yeah, here's the body that connects the hands. I know they kind of tried to do that with Taboo, but it didn't really. I don't know. Didn't really work. Also, one of my favorite things is food. These food items will help restore your health while you eat. There's 24 different types of food, and the nutritional value and yumminess quotient differs slightly with each type. Party balls tend to hold the largest amount of food items you may be vulnerable to gorging yourself, but you do need to eat to survive. What do we got here? We got like a kebab skewer, a hamburger, some sort of like Japanese mushroom dish, one of those sushi things, some milk, coffee. Oh, I think you got like beer here. Oh, that's cool. And then you got like pasta, pizza. You got some noodles. You got like a donut. You got watermelon. You got mushrooms. You got like a soy sauce type dealy. Get some more pasta, chicken, kebab. Oh, that's neat. Some cheese. Hell yeah. Melon, banana. You get like grapes. I thought that was like corn on the cob for some reason. That's cool. And I like how the like the food having different like levels of healingness depending on deliciousness is very funny. Maximum tomato. Maximum tomatoes cure 50 percentage points of your accumulated damage. Once you eat one, after a brief moment, your damage meter falls slowly. Turns the appropriate amount, regardless of whether or not you picked up another item right afterwards. In the Scurvy series, they are juicy, health restoring items that were a favorite of the Pink Hero. And like again, like not having like the internet access to lore and like seeing Maximum Tomatoes obviously in like Smash 64, you're like, oh shit, that's a Kirby thing. Like that's cool. And then you got the heart container. Heart containers drift slowly to the ground and replace 100% points of health. In Legend of these items beefed up Link's life meter. In most cases, Link found them in possession of bosses or hidden in secret areas. Heart containers are often scattered throughout the land in several fragments. I always thought the Warp Star was a crazy cool item back in the day too. Like just something that like kind of you just zoomed off on. Like I always thought that was neat. The Warp Star originally was Kirby's ride. It helped the Ponderous Puffball. Ponderous. I don't think of Kirby as like pondering anything really. Ponderous Puffball get around at high speeds. Hop on the Warp Star in Super Smash Bros. Melee, and your character will rapidly launch off the screen. You'll return in a flash, causing an explosion as you hit the ground. Try holding a direction to after your landing. Okie doke. Ray gun. I always liked Okay, I like the ray gun sounds in like Super Smash and 64 more. I don't know why. The ray gun is a toy-like in appearance and shoots short, fat, highly reflective beams of green. The gun is fairly weak, but since it fires so fast, it can easily juggle enemies. It contains enough energy for only 16 shots. Try dropping it with a few shots left and let your foes waste time and energy trying to retrieve it. I don't think anyone's ever done that in the history of time. And then, of course, learning that, like, oh shit, you could actually get a Super Scope for the Super Nintendo and, like, play games with it. A peripheral device for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Super Scope is a wireless weapon that shoots infrared light to a receiver placed on top of the television. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, it can be fired rapidly or charged up to release a more powerful blast. It only has enough energy for 13 short shots. I have to figure out, like, I'm thinking about this now. I would like to figure out how to play like a light gun game on either the GameCube or the N64. I think there's a way I could do it with the N64 if I really like put my mind to it and like set up the arbor drive. But I don't know, that'd just be cool. Because I got this CRT here, might as well like use it for something I couldn't do on a TV. Fire flower. Once you grab the item, press and hold down the A button, making the flower breathe flames until its power gives out. The fire flower is incredibly useful when you want to push someone off the edge of the stage. Super Mario Brothers transformed Mario into Fire Mario, changing his garb and enabling him to throw fireballs. Always thought the fire flower looked like it would be good on a salad. I don't know. Alright. Lipstick. The magic stick was used by the character Lip in the Japanese game Battle to Pond, which years later released its Tetris attack in the United States. Lipstick causes the fire to sprout from an enemy's head, inflicting damage as it grows. Quickly tap the control stick back and forth to get a flower off of your head. I always thought lipstick was neat. I don't know, just different, something different. Star Rod. Magic Wand helps 16. What is it with 16 shots? Did some like focus group think that was like the optimal number of projectiles just across the board? The Magic Wand holds 16 star shots. Instance foes flying at a low angle when thrown. It's most powerful when Captain Falcon or Sheik uses this magic attack while holding it. Kirby's Adventure of the Star Rod is super powered by the Falcon groups. King Dedede steals the starter rod in order to steal away the nasty cloaked nightmare. I always thought it was funny that yeah, here's his weapon, and it's like a fairy wand, whatever. But then like you read the lore on it, it's like it's the power to the fountain dreams, and you're just like, whoa, I feel kind of weird, fucking just using this as a weapon. Nice. And then you got the beam sword. Eye-catching and lethal. At first, the blade is about the size of a short sword. The blade changes when it bends move, but all lengthens in direct proportion to its hand, reaching maximum size when used as a smash attack. I don't know. I always thought it was cool that like lightsabers were like in a non-Star Wars Nintendo game. Then you got the fucking home run bat, which I think is also like meant to be Ness's bat. Smash an enemy with a slugger and you'll send them out. Instantly home run. Sound of the bat being swung immediately strikes fear in the hearts of opponents and can turn the tide of a battle. It's slightly risky to use though, very limited range, and it takes time to wind up your swing. And you got the like the fan is one of those things that they should have brought back. I think the fan can be swung so rapidly that it leaves opponents unable to counterattack. It is, however, exceedingly exceedingly weak weapon. Despite the shortcoming, the fan is quite effective as a shield breaker and works well as disrupting an enemy equilibrium. Throw the fan and send your boat bouncing straight up into the sky. I like I said, the fan is something that they should bring back. I know that it's kind of like hinged on like kind of like a Japanese comedic trope, but hey, it's cool as fuck. All right, and then you got the hammer. So, like I said, I don't know. Actually, no, I didn't say this. My first video game ever was Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. So that was like the new version where you got like the arcade levels, but then you also got like God, what was it, like 7 extra levels or something? And like so that being able to use the hammer in both this and Smash was like super neat. If you run across the hammer, you'll run across the green swing back and forth nonstop and dunk. Why are you using the hammer? In exactly the same fashion. It's an extremely powerful item, but you have no recovery move when carrying it. Every now and then, the mallet head will fall up and go into completely vulnerable, swinging just the handle. Kind of a shitty hammer. Hit or throw a green shell, and it'll follow the contours of the environment, causing heavy damage when it hits. These Koopa shells have many uses in the Mario series. They've been picked up, kicked, thrown, swallowed, and even spit out. Mario just uses them as tools to pummel Bowser's numberless henchmen. They're a wretch, and they will home in on random characters and sending them flying straight up. Red shells, moving on the surface, are dangerous to all players, but they may also present attack chances for players with good timing and strategy. Red shells won't leave the platform they're on once they start moving. I always thought, okay, because like uh, one of my first things that I remember thinking about like Melee was just kind of like, oh, like these don't operate on like Mario Kart logic. They're not just like homing missiles. Although I guess like the spinny shell that was in like Smash 4 and onward kind of fulfilled that, but made famous as an unpredictable obstacle in balloon fight, the flipper stops and hangs in midair when thrown. Any character that comes in contact with it, bumper balls on its ends will be knocked away with it. The flipper spins wildly. Flippers can be a bit irksome in balloon fight that cause accidents, friends and foes alike. Do you have friends in balloon fight? Because I don't think you do. Like, I think it's like unless there's, I guess like in multiplayer mode, but like I don't know. I always played it single player because nobody was gonna play fucking balloon fight with me. Are you kidding? And like, oh god, that's another fun memory. So that was like I played a lot of like NES games like in my youth, like when I was like a teenager, because I got one of those. I don't know the exact name, but I think JonTron called it the Power Cracker, where it was one of those like 999 games in one deals, but like it was all like bootleg NES ROMs and like 20 of them repeated over and over at best. And like I remember playing like Balloon Fight on that, like original Super Mario Brothers. I think it was I played that way the first time, but that era of my life ended when my brother was playing it and it just caught on fire. Like literally, like I will never forget this as long as I live. I was sitting in the kitchen eating a sandwich, and for lunch, and my brother my brother comes running upstairs with something smoking, and he either like took it outside and smothered the flame, or he just like Michael Jordan basketball um spiked it in something into the trash can. I'm like, what the hell? What was that, dude? And he's like, oh yeah, that was the NES. Like it just caught on fire. All right, the Freezy. Freezy slip and slide along smooth surfaces and will happily slide off the edge of a stage left alone. In Mario Bros, they would stop and freeze portions of the ground. In Melee, they can be picked up and hurled as weapons. Hit a foot with a Freezy, and he will be turned for in case of each block of ice. The origins of the Mr. Saturn race are unknown, but many believe they come from outer space. They reside in Saturn Valley and speak their own unique language in Melee, and Mr. Saturn is just another item with which to pelt foes. These days are laid back and not into fighting, so you can rest easier, can you? These little guys are just what they appear to be, walking bombs. Pick one up and hurl it for an incredibly potent attack. If no one picks them up by bombs, light their own fuses and start wandering around armed and dangerous. In Mario 64, Bob-ombs constantly chase Mario down once they notice the thing. Bob-ombs are nice and capable of speech. I always thought they were red bob-ombs, but I guess they're pink. All right, and then they didn't want to like bring up fucking a rated M game, so they just said top secret on the motion sensor bomb. Perfect accessory for ambush. The motion sensor bomb has been used favorite covert weapon of spies and their stealthy operatives. It is your standing surface, and one's arms detonate with incredible force when it detects motion in its range. In the frantic world of Super Smash Bros., it doesn't take long for it to go. Super Mushroom. Super Mario Bros. Veterans will recognize these power-ups, which hid inside brick blocks and helps Mario and Luigi withstand enemy attacks. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, they turn temporarily into your character into a giant. Not only will increase your size and strength increases, but your mass, and so it makes it harder for foes to knock you off. Having like super mushrooms and stuff just seemed like such a given in like Mario's like fucking Smash 64, and then it's like, oh, you just don't have them, cool. And then you do here, and it's like, oh, you can actually do this shit. This is the power of the Gamecube. Poison mushrooms made their debut in Super Mario All Stars, where they cost characters a life if picked up. These nasty fungi are dark and foul taste. Super Smash Bros. Melee that make you shrink on contact. With your diminished stature comes a loss of power and mass, making you a prime target to get smashed off screen with even a light attack. I like how I was confused by the 93, and then I realized that like, oh, like Mario Brothers 2 didn't come out in Japan, or at least the one that we got. Like we didn't get like poison mushrooms technically until the lost levels. All right, we got Starman. These items make you invulnerable for all attacks for a period of time. Starman bounces around and eventually tumbles out of the stage, but all you need to do is pick up and touch his power up. It possesses similar powers in Super Mario Brothers, except you could also harm enemies by touching them while under its influence. Like, I think that kind of added to like why I didn't like how like shells operated, because it's like, oh yeah, like Star gives you invincibility just like in Mario Kart. Like, you got the parasol, which was originally used by Kirby, can be used as a weapon to bludgeon enemy. Even better is the fact players can open it while airborne and flip easily back towards safe ground. It's incredibly useful when returning to the field of play after an opponent gets the better view and sends you flying. Again, another fun weapon. And like, I don't even know if it really registered just how zany the Kirby games were until like I don't know until like I met other people that had played them. But here, like, if I'd actually read half these trophy descriptions, I would have been like, what are these Kirby games about? Like, what? Alright, one of Samus Aran's power up from the original Metroid. The screw attack turns a jump into a rotating attack move when carrying this item. Any character's jump move will turn into a screw attack. By the same token, if you throw this item to an enemy or foe will spontaneously do a screw attack. I think it's funny that, like, I guess because like it was like orb shaped in like the Metroid games. They're like, yeah, you could probably pick it up like a ball. But then they realized it was like excessively literal, so it became like a badge and brawl. I would like to see a game. I would like to see like a Smash game or some, whatever the next evolution of like post Ultimate's gonna be. I would like to see. I'd like to see that, like the ball form come back. All right, and then you got the metal box, first spotted in Super Mario 64. The metal box holds the power to turn your character briefly into heavy metal. Your mass is exponentially greater while metallic, making it difficult others to throw you. Be careful though. You not only will you move a bit slower, but you'll also fall much more quickly than you normally would. I don't. Maybe this is kind of like this might be like a unique memory to me, but I kind of remember just like fucking around with like the wing cap and like the metal cap and like just seeing what kind of like chaos I could fucking create in all these levels with like the different power ups and shit. I don't know. I never really come to think of it, I never really played games to beat them. I always just kind of like, I don't know. I was just kind of like just played. I played video games to like just kind of mess around in them. Like I never like. I guess because like a lot of my games were either like rented by like or not rented by cousins, but like like at a cousin's house or like you would rent it from Blockbuster Video. So sometimes, a lot of the times you'd get like you'd get a game like half beaten or like totally beaten, and like you could just fuck around in it. And I kind of miss that on the bunny hood to improve your agility drastically, allowing you to jump great distances and move at high speed. These ears are a cute accessory, and even adorable, and characters they don't quite suit. The bunny hood was key in Majora's Mask, where it made Link move 1.5 times his normal speed. Like fucking what? Majora's Mask was not a game like that was a game that like I heard about, but like no one I knew had it. And so like what ended up happening was like I didn't find out about like anything to do with Majora's Mask until maybe like I guess like the Chugga Conroy playthrough would have been like the first time I was like, oh shit, it's this game. And that was like college. Um, so yeah, I got into this way late. Also, I guess the Bunny Hood was the Bunny Hood. I guess it was okay. And you got the cloaking device, the state of the art camouflage device bends light rays in such a way where players make it appear invisible. This device fosters confusion, and players using it will not take any damage while cloaked. You're not invulnerable, and that can still send you reeling your players screen depending on the damage percentages. I okay. Another thing, I guess I have like love in my heart for Melee. So I think a lot of the goofier things should be brought back. Well, chief among them, the cloaking device. I don't know. I just think it's neat. All right, and you got the barrel cannon. Like, what purpose could it possibly serve other than be stupid? But let's fucking bring it back. The barrel cannons were used in Donkey Kong games as a vital means of transportation. Their explosive nature is used similarly in Melee. On Congo Jungle Stage, one can catch characters as they fall from the main platform. Careful, the barrel cannon's rotation may actually send you flying off screen. And that was fun in like the Congo Jungle 64 stage where like you thought you were cool by like kind of hanging out in the barrel cannon, but then you just get spiked off screen. Great fun, great fun. Party balls are just what they sound like, a recipe for wild fun packed into a paper ball. Throw or strike one into the air. Before it's a trigger, parties are always unpredictable. So here are the odds of a zany your party might be. Self-destruction. 10%. Bunker Banquet. 38. Babam Fest. 12. I like, did they just not have, like, did they just, like, not have enough to, like suffice a trophy thing, so they're just like, yeah, here are the fucking percentages of crates will release lots of items when it's busted open. It's very heavy, so unless your character is strong, he'll walk slowly around the room. You can even throw crates up, down, left, or right. That's hard to identify. Every now and then, a crate will explode under arrest. I always thought like crates and barrels were like super fun. I don't know. It's just like the thing that contains the item also being like a weapon in and of itself is very fun, and just something that something that's wholly unique to Smash Brothers. Like crates, barrels are often filled with items and occasionally explosive. Barrels may break on contact or go rolling on the ground. Smash into other characters like the crate. Barrel's heavy. I always thought it'd be funny if like I don't know how they do it, but I always thought it'd be funny if like it's like hey, a barrel a nice cool Budweiser. I don't know. I just think that'd be funny. What's next? and you get the Smash Bros. Like these are clearly like it's clearly modeled after like beer barrels. Like you just see like the seal of quality. Like you went on like a Budweiser. These small containers contain items that break out when they fly out, or items that fly out when the capsule breaks. Capsules will relatively exposed to 1.5% of the time, so deciding when and where to break them could be a strategic decision. Sometimes it's better to throw it rather than attack them directly. Explosive capsules pack a tremendous punch. So I think it's funny. Like I remember my friends and I thinking we were like hot shit because we're like, oh yeah, the capsule in Smash Brothers is based off of Dragon Ball, but we were fucking like idiots, and of course it's based. Like I think the Smash 64 one might be more based. I'd have to look at a model of it again, but I'm pretty sure that the Smash 64 one is based off of like a gachapon machine, and then it's like a gachapon machine, and then this one is like very like Dragon Ball Z esque because the little button. All right, and then you got an egg, basically the same as capsules, and then they'll release items when you break them up. They've been known to explode too. The likelihood that certain items may be inside eggs, depending on the type of stage being played. What is that? That's huh? Like that's like it's like a weird oh, hey, yeah, depending on the stage for some reason. Like, I wonder, they were just playing with mathematical values at that point, and they're just like, yeah, we can just make it so that, if, the if-then statement is, Battlefield or something, then Pokeballs will come out of eggs, or some such thing. Sorry. Just take off my shoes. Coins. I always thought the coins were, I always maybe it's just because I was a weird nerdy kid, but I always thought that currencies were super neat. We might have to okay, we might have to zoom in on this one. Like, what kind of symbol are we going for here? Oh, this one's definitely the. Are they what the hell are we looking at here? Are they huh? I bet you could look up a high res version of these. These coins are used in Super Smash Bros. Melee coin battle mode. The gold coins are worth 10, silver worth 5, and the copper ones are worth 1. Hit the opponent with the coins. We'll go racking down. If you're knocked off the screen, you lose half of your coins. Once time's up. I think it's funny that, even in the GameCube era, we were still very deeply entrenched in, we need to have, mini games, fucking part of it. Even though Smash in and of itself is kind of a mini game now, but I don't know. It's funny. All right, these balls are used, and to capture and contain Pokemon. Those Pokemon will be weakened in some way before they can be captured. But once they are inside a Pokeball, they enjoy their new these Pokeballs that contain environments specifically designed for Pokeball non-capture. Master Balls are the strongest type. So I always wondered about that, right? I guess because I guess being able to store your Pokemon on the PC implies that I guess being able to store your Pokemon on the PC implies that they get broken down into digital information or whatever. So I guess yeah, I guess it'd be like living in like a computer background or something, like where it's just like, oh hey, like like ideal park, clearing type shit. All right, and then we got Venusaur. Shout out to Venusaur in Stadium, where like whenever it would hit a move, it would be all like terrifying and bloodshot. Evolving from Ivysaur, this deceptively toxic Pokemon has a huge flower on its back that emits a cloven fragrance. The scent lulls its enemies into a state of calmness. Venusaur's flowers synthesize sunshine and pure energy for a solar beam move. Think of a grass type Pokemon and Venusaur comes first. Definitely. And you got Charizard. It's hard to believe that this massive flame dragon comes from a tiny Charmander. I'm looking at flying heights of over 4,500 feet, but its flaming breath is hot enough to reduce almost anything to ashes in seconds. The flame on the ends of the Charizard's tail are said to be a fairly accurate barometer of its power. That's cool. I guess it's like a little less tense than the anime where it's like, oh yeah, if a Charizard's flame comes out, it'll die. And we got Squirtle Squate retreating into its shell and spitting water at its feathers. Squirtle's trademark response to danger. It's one of three Pokemon that trainers can receive from Professor Oak in Pokemon Red and Blue. It evolves into War Turtle and then Blastoise. Its water powers leveling up with each evolution. I think it's funny that it's like, oh yeah, this thing is like a coward and like spits water at it. But then it's like, oh yeah, here's all like the like the information. And you got this super cool render. This has to be like this like the shade of blue makes me think it's like right out of the Pokemon blue red green or blue red and yellow instruction booklet. Blastoise is the evolutionary step after War Turtle. The thick jets of water they shoot from their cannons on their backs are strong enough to cut through steel plate when endangered hands of their armor shells. Blastoise is so popular among trainers that it's considered a definitive water type. Again, not a bad, not a bad summation. They got Clefairy. I love Clefairy just doing random shit. Kind of, I don't know, kind of made me think that that Metronome was like much more competitively viable than it actually was. Very cute Pokemon, which make them good pets. However, as they're only found in a few areas, it takes a lot of work to find one. Strangely enough, Legend has its very active mark during a full moon. Sorry, big yawn. These Pokemon are known to use Metronome, a move that unleashes randomly selected techniques. Always thought Electrode was a funny little guy. Electrode, an electric ball type Pokemon, is evolved from the form of Voltorb. It has the tendency to explode with even the slightest provocation, which gave it the nickname Wrecking Ball. Electrode is a crystal Pokemon found in Dayton's distinctive white over red. Coloring is the opposite of Voltorb's. Neat. Wheezing. I love Wheezing. Just because another like part of like child me was like another part of like child me was that I love like the bad character, like the villains in anything, and like Pokemon was no exception. I thought Jesse and James were fucking hilarious, and then I thought their Pokemon were like a weird zoo crew between Meowth, Arbok, and Weezing. But now, as an adult, I realize that Weezing is just like a gaseous, like a tumor Pokemon that got cancer from all the smog. It's like, oh, I don't want to think about fucking the consequences of exposure to poison gases due to industrialization when I'm playing a Pokemon game. The evolved form of coughing. Wheezing is basically a pair of coughing fused together. They tend to float in the air and make gas or noxious smoke from the outgrowths that cover their bodies. As strange as it may seem, diluting wheezing emission as much as possible creates one of the most exquisite perfumes known to man. just diluted wheezing. Okay, renowned for its kind temperament, Chansey has been known to offer injured creatures with a highly nutritious egg. Is that not like? Is that not? Or no? It's just can I offer you an egg in the strike time? I thought it was. For a long time, I thought it was. Can I offer you a highly nutritious egg? To aid in their recovery, legend has it that it's a charitable creature who brings happiness to anyone who captures it. All gins are female, and every now and then one is found in possession of a lucky egg, whatever that means. And you got Goldine. These water types are referred to as water dancers. Their elegant fins make them incredibly agile underwater. They can even travel up streams in rapids at a speed of 5 knots. Of course, they're not quite nimble on dry land. Gordine's horn drill is so strong that it can kill an enemy with one strike if it connects. I remember like seeing a video like years ago of like if you summon Goldine on I think Great Bay to like and it gets in the water to like do horn drill and Okoyo. I could have sworn I believed that for like 10 years, and it was like, oh yeah, that was just debunked in my fuck. And he got Starry the one that goes like, yeah. I've never heard. While I'm at it, have you ever heard of the I think it's the French dub where like Staryu is just like an orgasming woman or something. It's very funny. These star-shaped Pokemon that evolve in Starmie are found in large numbers at the seashore at night. Staryu's red signal glows and blinks on and off. Said that as long as the red center remains, they can linger on slumps weather related to Cleffa, another Pokemon with the big star-shaped appearance is unknown. What a random. Wait, I gotta see something. We're not gonna look at any of these yet, but I got. Oh no! Okay, so it just randomly is like, oh yeah, it might be related to Cleffa, this Pokemon that we don't have as a fucking. Okay, Snorlax. Snorlax love to sleep and lucky, and the whirly Pokemon get grumpy and they don't get 880 pounds of food per day after snacking. They always nap. You can't snare their stomach and can eat moldy and even run through no digestive realms. They're the heaviest Pokemon on record, weighing in at over 1,000. That's like okay, that's insane because if you do the math, like that's like if you were to starve a Snorlax, like the minimum weight it could be is like 220 pounds. But that'd be like some like Arms of the Angels Pokemon style shit. Also, I always wondered because like they always said they're like, oh yeah, Snorlax is based off a guy. Like there was just some like fat guy on the fucking Pokemon development team that they're like, hey, fucking you're fat. But like, I wonder if they ever like interviewed that guy about that. I wonder if he's okay about that. All right, we got Articuno. Clouds gather, the barometer plunges. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Nah. The Pokemon, the snow falls from the frigid air when this legendary Pokemon takes wing. Graceful and elegant, it boasts long tail feathers that flap in the wind and are lovely to behold. As would be expected, its combat moves are based on its cold nature. They include Ice Beam and Blizzard. Neat. I always like, I don't know, like, if I just thought, because of the anime, like, oh yeah, the legendary birds are so fucking, like, powerful, but, like, when I played, a lot of, like, how I consume Pokemon, other than, like, the anime and Smash, was through Pokemon Stadium. And I remember I always tried to have the legendary birds on my team some kind of way, just because, hey, like, you're not getting them in Pokemon super easy, so, like, fuck you. Zapdos. Zapdos flaps its wings, summer storms, throwing lightning every which way. It's said that you can hear its legendary Pokemon come. This is into pounding soundless noise. In addition to electric moves like the dreaded Thunder, it also carries a vicious move called Drill Peck. Okay, like I get that people like Articuno, people like Moltres for reasons, but like I always thought that Zapdos was the coolest one because he's just little. He's got I think the little metal gauntlets on his little like bird ankles is super fun. Moltres is a tradition. The onset of spring heralds the return of this legendary Pokemon from Sunday. Its bright orange color and fire aspect lend to its overwhelming appearance. Sky attack. Strongest of flying moves is perfect fit for its burning phenom, but it obviously excels at powerful fire type moves. Interesting. Okay, like obviously Zapdos, like fucking my favorite legendary bird, but like in Stadium, Moltres just looks cool as hell. I might have to do, or not in Stadium, in Pokemon Snap. I might have to play Pokemon Snap for y'all one of these days. I was thinking about that on the turlet before the stream started. Okay, Mew. Mew is an extremely rare Pokemon that has only been seen by a few people. Information on every Pokemon in the world is contained in Mew's soul so it has the ability to use any and all TMs and HMs. Some Pokemon scholars believe Mew to be the ancestor of all existing Pokemon, but that idea is debatable. I like the idea of like I like the idea of like Pokemon zoological debates where there's like a camp that believes Mew is like the father of all Pokemon, or like the first Pokemon or whatever, and then like the more like theological people probably are like, no, it's fucking Arceus, you stupid asshole. What are you talking about? And then there, I think there are some others that like people have said like, oh yeah, that's or no. People are like, oh, technically like Rhydon was the first Pokemon because it was the first Pokemon developed. Just that stupid asshole argument. Okay. And then you get into Gen 2. I have a lot of fun memories with Gen 2 because, much like Smash 64 to Melee, Pokemon Stadium 2, for me, was like mind blowing because it's like, oh shit, it's this game that I played like excessively with my friends, but like better. And there was like I think it was either like a demo like thing where you could play Pokemon Stadium 2 at like a theme park near where it's like local to me, and I don't know if they held like a tournament eventually, but I know that like when I was there, like for at the beginning of it, kids could just like play the game, and like there was this poor asshole in a fucking Pikachu costume, because it's a theme park and you're obviously gonna have mascots walking around. And like we decided, like my dad and I decided, like at the very end of the experience, we're like, hey, we're gonna get this picture with Pikachu, but as people in terrifying, hot mascot, sweaty mascots do, they had to go like swap out or whatever, and like we were like getting this picture with Pikachu. So like Pikachu's like going to like the little shed where you get out of the costume or whatever. Meanwhile, my dad and I. Meanwhile, my dad and I are just on this person's tail, like, "Hey, Pikachu! Hey, Pikachu!" And I think I finally like turned around and like took a picture with me. But like looking back on it, I just think of like all like the boomer shit my parents did so that I could like do the dumb shit that I wanted to do at any given moment, which is kind of, I don't know, that's fun to think about as an adult. This is how cringe. Like, I'm sure like all the theme park people like made fun of us after. Like this jerk wants fucking. Oh yeah, Chikorita, first Pokemon available in Gold, Silver, Grass type Pokemon, and it's a delightful fragrance. You have a lot of choices for perfume in the Pokemon universe, don't you? Okay, Razor Leaf. Okay. Cyndaquil was definitely my favorite Pokemon. They definitely like of Gen 2, they definitely like went out of the way to make Cyndaquil really fucking cute in the anime. They frighten easily, so they're often found curled up in balls. When threatened, they flare their flames out from their backs, strongly enemies. Cyndaquil was one of the first three Pokemon to be choose from the beginning of Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal. No one knows that. I like how because of because of what happens in Gold and Silver, they like kind of like keep mum on like how you get your Pokemon, but like for Gen 1, they're like, ah, yeah, y'all played it. Like, y'all know you get it from Professor Oak. Like, fuck you. Togepi, these adorable spike Pokemon hatch from eggs given out by Professor Elms. This is common superstition is that their shells are chock full of happiness, and that they don't look like shops of kindness. It's impossible to predict which village that we will call upon when it gets its turn on them, so you better be ready. I'm trying to think, was Professor Elm? I'm trying to think if Professor Elm was in the anime or if he got like replaced with Professor Ivy. Huh. Yeah, some. I think yeah, Pokemon the movie 2000 definitely had like the weird like Pikachu's vacation. It's like blossom, some, and it's like like you ever like I don't know maybe like if you weren't around for like the whole Pokemon and movie theaters kind of era, like maybe you might not know, but like people that are like 30 plus or whatever, do you like remember being in a Pokemon and like dragging your mom and dad to the theater? Like maybe it was like a birthday or like fucking just hey Christmas or whatever, but like because like I watched those movies back with a friend of mine recently, and like I cannot imagine what it would have been like to go see a Pokemon movie without context back in the day. Just like not even like being aware of these cute little animal guys or whatever, but like I don't know, it's just like just hearing these Pokemon cries and it's like a little dance, especially like I guess like the movies you could kind of get into the art or you could get into the action or whatever, but like the fucking like the Pikachu shorts must have been like on par with like Gitmo Bay torture. Meryl, the aquatic mouse Pokemon. Oh shit. From time to time, these beautiful flower Pokemon will gather in numbers and dance in the sun. In the midst of a strange explosion, their petals will blush together. I love like these lore things where like you never see it happen in game ever because we're still operating off of like NES technology. But like, yeah, it's like, yeah, just take our word for it, kids. When they fucking dance in the moonlight sometimes. Okay, I love. I have like gained a new appreciation for Meryl just because of that one J-Wits video where he talks about Pika Blue. he fucking he fucking goes to that one website in the beginning where it's like the fan site, but it's like Pikachu balancing the Pokeball like tiled across the entire screen. And as such, it's just a completely unreadable mess. And Jay-Witz completely deadpan goes, "This website made my eyes bleed. This Aqua Mouse Pokemon evolves into Azumarill. The round ball on the end of its tail acts like a flotation device, so it can float safely in the roughest of water conditions. It resides in Mountain Order, seclusion few creatures are ever seen. Few other creatures are ever seen. Meow's cuteness has earned a large and loyal fan base. Like with all this like Pokemon lore stuff, like you'd think that like that would have been prime. That would have been prime for like Pokemon Snap 2, but it just never happened. And then when we finally did get like a new Pokemon Snap, it was just really complicated. Like it was really complicated, and also had like none of the like had like none of the anime like attached to it, so it was just like really fucking dumb. Sudowoodo, the imitation Pokemon, was a version of battle. Sudowoodo always exposes a tree to avoid being attacked despite their arboreal appearance. These Pokemon are actually rock types and therefore highly vulnerable to water when it starts to rain. Advantage Sudowoodo could be found blocking Route 36 in Johto. Okay. Again, like I played like Pokemon Gold and Crystal like as an adult, so I don't necessarily have like nostalgia for Gen 2 Pokemon. Oh, they're outside of like Pokemon Stadium, but like that was Pokemon Stadium 2. I mean, and that was just like that that might have been. I'm trying to think of was I still I think that was kind of like right at the cusp of like, yeah, I'm not watching the anime anymore, but like like some like Pokemon stick out of my head, like you fucking like Ursaring and shit, because I'm pretty sure that was like one of the first episodes of the Johto series. That might be cool actually, just to go back and watch Johto. Always thought the unknown were neat, although like I think it's really funny that like their whole gimmick is they're like the alphabet or whatever, said to be more than superficial. Quite a few different shapes of unknown have been confirmed. It's believed that each type has the unique abilities to send in medical can be found in the realms of wealth. I just think it's funny that they did not. I guess they just didn't know. Or did they? I'm trying to see if they like. Oh, I get. Wait, no, wait. I think they're all. Oh shit! I guess they all are different shapes. Never the fuck you mind. I thought they were all. I thought they because I was looking at it like here when it was like. I wonder. Wait, hold on. Okay, here we go. That's cooler. Oh god, that's bright. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, they've got like a couple different shapes in here, but I don't think they have all of it. Because I was looking at it in like that dark and fucking background, so like I kind of thought they were all the same shape or whatever, but I guess not. Okay, wow, Buffet. The Asian Pokemon Wobbuffet lives in darkness behind its mismatched black tail. Even for stone Pokemon, this creature has a testament to self-control. It will not actively attack an enemy opponent. Who's that guy? Like the guy who does like the identifying luck in like Mario Party videos did like a trophy read that I really liked. Like is like that was definitely a like go to sleep shower video for me for a long time, and the fact that he goes wow Buffet every time, it's so fucking cool. Also, like I remember just like falling in love with Scissors' design immediately. Because again, it's like a vaguely robot. Like I still was kind of like a sci-fi weirdo when I was like, by the time Pokemon Gold and Silver came out, I was like 10, 9, 9, 10. So like, it was a little less acceptable to be like a sci-fi weirdo, like even less acceptable than then. But so you got the Scissors Pokemon. Thitherth evolves from Scyther's, his arms extending in large, strong pincers, which distinctive on spot markings. Wait, what? Oh, I get. Oh, that's cool. It's unable to fly very far. With Summerton wing that can affect its spot temperature by floating. Yeah, see, like it looked like I always loved like the Porygon line is like more of a commentary on like the advancement of computers. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. Representing the next step in technological progress, this virtual Pokemon is a higher powered version of a man-made Pokemon Porygon. Compared to sharp edges, utilizes extremely rounded metal. Conversion. I forgot what conversion 2 does. Let's see. These thunder Pokemon travel near and far, blasting out electrified whirlwinds. They carry storm clouds on their backs, so they can produce lightning regardless of cold weather. It's even said that they descend into the air via lightning bolts. Their extreme quickness lends itself to flight, so they're very hard to capture. Entei, mechanic fire type. Entei is hotter than the midnight lands. This powerful creature was one of three Pokemon running around the burning tower. The echo tree city. Entei is extremely difficult to seek out and capture, as it tends to wander all over the landscape. strongest body. I was just thinking about it because, like, for some reason in my head, I was like, for some reason in my head, I was obviously the fucking, like, the Entei and them were all like Generation 3 because they were the third Pokemon movie. But, like, no, like, Pokemon 2000 was, like, in between 1 and 2, and then, like, we were full into 2 by the time Pokemon the movie 3 came out. The mystical aura of Pokemon constantly journeys in search of places pure, fluid water. Suicune wields the power to constantly instantly purify any contaminated water and finds. Suicune is the North Wind reborn, a stranger who writes stories told of the course of Crystal. I think I played Crystal mostly. I don't know why. I was like kind of like this. I always kind of liked like the lesser, like the third weird Pokemon game of any generation. Like I was definitely big into like Yellow. The water islands are home to the legendary Pokemon. This legendary Pokemon, if you have seen, Lugia lives quietly in deepest ocean treasure for one very good reason. Its combined aerial and psychic powers are so strong as to be extremely dangerous. Special movements as a gargantuan creature involving destructive wind assault knows aerial blast. Okay, so I Pokemon. Okay, I get that. Like by the time, or maybe that I don't know exactly kind of where Pokemon Fever was at by the time we got to Pokemon the movie 2000, but and so I don't know how like beloved a classic it is exactly, but like I will go on record as having said that Pokemon the movie 2000 is like genuinely a beautiful movie in places. Okay, the wonders of the world. Okay, we already read that. Sorry. Okay, as it soars around the sky, as a world, this rainbow Pokemon leaves a trail of rainbows, and this is like signature move is called Sacred Fire, and it's believed to appear only before trainers are pure parts. If you see a trainer without, you can assume catching it to the bottom. So, I actually do have some memories with specifically Sacred Fire. One of the first like mods of a Pokemon game I did was like because my friend was like big into modding games and like English patching games. So like he showed me how to like mod like Pokemon where you could get like random moves on like an emulated thing or whatever. And you could do like you could mod stuff or whatever. And I was playing. I think I had gotten like a Cyndaquil or something, and because I had randomized the move pool, the first move I got was Sacred Fire, and so I just like nuked like all of it. I love Celebi. Celebi has the power to travel through time and thus wanders from one age to the next, considered a a daily a deity by the I don't know why I said daily. I'm getting tired. Plants and trees and said to grow an unimaginable abundance whenever Celebi visits like Mew. Celebi is Pokemon shrouded in mystery. So okay, so I'm gonna talk with y'all about something. So like I did not have I had a lot of Pokemon stuff. I had like little plushies. I had like posters. I had I was pretty like deep in the whole Pokemon thing. And like I had the N64 games, but the one thing I did not have was the Game Boy games. Because for some fucking reason, my parents were like, "No, you can't. No, we're like you can't." I think I think I did a bad job explaining why I needed the Pokemon Game Boy games because I'm like, oh, I want to like trade Pokemon with my friends, and they're just like, no, you're not doing that. That sounds too complicated. So like, I didn't really like grasp the handheld culture or like any of the events or whatever. And so I guess like hearing about these Pokemon events where like you'd like go to the Toys R Us and like download the thing you needed to get Celebi or whatever, and it's like who the fuck like even if you live like even if you lived in like a big city, like if you were like in reasonable proximity to a Toys R Us, like uh nobody was gonna fucking like no parent I knew was gonna like let you go to a Toys R Us so you could download the fucking Celebi or whatever the fuck. No way. Alright, okay. We're finally in Mario Town, hooray. Toad, Peach's longtime servant, first showed off his strength in Mario Bros. 2, then proved to be an agile driver in Super Mario Kart. There are many Toads in Peach's castle and across the Mushroom Kingdom, and although they look similar, they vary in natures, and not the best regards. Toad and y'all remember, like, probably you don't, but like, y'all remember back in the day where people were like, "Oh man, you can unlock Toad if you shoot all the names in the credits." And like my friend and I tried to do that. We're like, "Oh shit!" And then, like I said at the top, Kerbunny was a big inspiration for this stream, and it was a big inspiration for this stream. And like I did not know that the melee render that was like in the doctored screenshots was from Mario 64. Okay, and then we got coins. Mushroom Kingdom is done with these mysterious coins. They seem to be endless what? In various and flux. And Mario gains an extra life when he manages to collect 100 of them. No one can confirm whether these are the actual currency, but it's a safe assumption. So, I have a theory about the coins, right? So, in Mario Kart 8, right, you get like coins from Mario, and then you go to like the Legend of Zelda world or whatever, and like you go to the Legend of Zelda world and you get rupees, and then you go to the Animal Crossing level and then you get bells, and you'd think that like bells and rupees and coins are all kind of like the same value. It's like 10 of each means the same thing across. So like you gotta assume that that's whatever. But then like you go to one of the two F-Zero tracks and you use Mario coins, which that must like I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination, but that must mean that whatever like F-Zero people use for money must be fucking worthless. Like that's gotta be like the whatever like the Vietnam money is, like levels of inflated. Vegetables. These vegetables, which appeared in Super Mario Bros. 2, can be plucked from the ground. Your reach of veggies, they often sport eyes or even faces. In fact, when Princess Peach plucks them from the ground to use them as projectiles, the expressions vary how much damage they do. I don't know. I guess like a lot of people have played like the NES games just because of like the sheer like availability of it. But like sheer availability of it, but like I I think I like Super Mario Brothers 2 USA quite a lot. I think it's really unique, and I think that might have been like maybe the first time where like people realized that like hey, you can like be malleable with this franchise and like do all sorts of things with these characters. Because I think if they stuck with like Super Mario, there might have been like less imagination in like future installments or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like trying to like put myself in like Miyamoto's shoes or whatever, but like I don't know, like that had to have like accounted for something, right? Just how unique that game was. And you got the Mega Vitamins from Dr. Mario. They come in 6 color combinations of red, blue, and yellow. Dr. Mario uses these capsules by tossing them into contaminated bottles to destroy viruses. They often the origin of these pills is a mystery, but most Likely there is Mario's Dr. Mario's lifeline ever to carry the common cold. So, okay, first of all, these things look like fucking horse pills, and I would hate to take them because, like, no human throat is like is cavernous enough to take that. And then, like the Game Boy version of Dr. Mario has to be the most fucking insane, like handheld to fucking handheld to console conversion ever, because it's like, oh yeah, you know, this game that's like very very dependent on color and matching colors. Like, what if we just put that in a game with no color? That'd be cool, right? And then somebody was like, yeah, and then that's how that game got made. Lon Lon Milk, the pride of Lon Lon Ranch, is delicious and nutritious milk. Link played upon his son for Lon Lon cows. They would perk up and provide the model of delicious beverage. That's a little cow logo. That's cute. Anyway, tasty beverage. The fact that Link sometimes use models that house bugs is a matter of questionable hygiene. I love the idea that they supposit that like Link is like a little freak, just like a gross child. Yeah, I wonder like that's gonna be some real creep. I imagine that like Lon Lon milk has to taste like eggnog, like non-alcoholic eggnog, just like real fucking creamy type shit. And you got the Kirby hats. Copy ability. I don't really feel like reading these. I just kind of want to look at them because it just says what they can do, and you kind of know that based on the fact that a lot of these characters have been around forever. But I always thought Kirby with the Mario hat looked cute. Same with the Samus one, even though it never looked right. Okay, we got Pikachu, the Fox one. Like that definitely looks like it's funny. It's funny because like that's very clearly like the Star Fox 64 design, especially like the middle part. I always thought Kirby and the Falcon helmet looked right. Okay, Battle Kirby with the angry eyebrows, just fire. A lot of these you could just say are like, because I think like the parka is just Ice Kirby, even though it's like Ice Climbers and stuff. Always thought that Zelda, Kirby Zelda being the always thought that Kirby Zelda being like young Zelda's like bonnet or whatever is like it's super cute, and like honestly they could have done something a lot more. They could have done something referencing adult Zelda very easily, but they didn't, and I think that's cool. Kirby Mewtwo and Kirby Puff look right in like a weird way. Also, fucking Kirby Game and Watch is just a jump scare given for like look at this thing. Like you tell me that like if this came out today that like they wouldn't be like, oh yeah, there's the creepy pasta about fucking Game and Watch Kirby. All right, and then you got Kirby with receding hairline is very funny. Falco Falco Kirby always creeped me out. Like it always kind of looked like scene makeup to me, and I don't know why. Um, Dr. Mario, stethoscope, obviously cute. All right, we got Princess Peach's castle. All right, Princess Peach's magnificent royal castle appears to be inhabited solely by the princess and a multitude of crows about to try to steal the power of our stars in Super Mario 64 and in Paper Mario. The Sterling Artistine actually lived at the castle in the transfer its own filthy fortress. I gotta hold on. Shit. Okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna zoom in on this, like more than we should probably, and just kind of take it all in, or take it all in as best we can anyway. I'm trying to like, I'm trying to see if like, I guess not. I don't know why. I don't know why I would have thought that like they would have like tried to model the castle grounds like 100% accurately for this, but I don't know. One can hope, right? Bonsai Bill. I always thought that like that was a super clever part of the Princess Peach's castle stage in Melee, and one of the reasons why I always wanted that stage brought back and was pissed when they're like, "Hey, we're gonna bring back the 64 stages in Smash 4," because I'm like, man, you could just bring back Peach's Castle Melee and it'd be cool. They burrow into Princess Peach's castle and then detonate. Okay, cool. Always, always thought Lakitu was super funny. Like there was like you look at like the N64 and like early GameCube era, there was a lot of fucking like, oh hey, it's Lakitu and he's flying around and he's the judge in golf and shit. But then it never really comes up again. It's kind of sad because it's like yeah, that has its roots in like the Mario game for the system. Like hey, okay, these are bombers destroyed their clouds exclusively. As their instruments typically hover out of reach of Mario. They're spinies. Cool. I always thought that the Mario 2 enemies looked super neat. Like, what the fuck? This fucking Pidgeot guy who is wingless and a bird enchanted by invisible eatable warts. This would be the bearers of bad dreams. They look. I didn't know that these were like. I didn't know that these guys were like the heralds of war. That's pretty neat. Mario and friends were able to. Okay. So when you got the Birdo trophy, you unlocked like the subcon stage, which is called Mushroom Kingdom 2 for whatever fucking reason. And the first I emulated this game on my Wii U. I did some shit, and the first trophy that I got when I put a coin in the machine was Birdo, and I unlocked the stage immediately. It was awesome. Birdo is known for shooting eggs and fireballs from her mouth. Mario and friends would have to jump onto the eggs in midair, pick them up, and throw them back at her. While missing from the Nintendo scene, Birdo recently reappeared in Mario Tennis and Super Mario Advance, which is like Super Mario Advance is like I don't know about like the other Super Mario games, but the one that is like Super Mario Bros. 2, which I think was the first one, is like objectively the worst way to play that game because like they were very they were like very they were very excited to show you that like yeah these characters have voices now, but then like they never shut up. That was the thing. All right, the low slung that's a weird low slung alligator made its first appearance in Donkey Kong Country. You can do it by jumping on its back, but its powerful jaws make it dangerous to approach from the front. In Melee, it swims in a river. Sometimes it swims in the barrel canvas, stop players from using it. I always thought that like the way that the Donkey Kong stages in Melee used water was like super neat. Like I don't know. It's like I definitely like fell in love with the idea of like being in a jungle, like playing Melee, in like a way that I wasn't necessarily in love with before. Just like certain things. Just what the fuck? Why is it okay? Birdo, Claptrap, Shite. That's a weird order. Okay, they've been known to walk on the ground, fly through the air, trapeze about on stilts where flowers are camouflage, throw balls, swim bents, sail on pirate ships, carry fruit, do the bamboo dance, ride submarines, play guitar, play tennis, wear red cones, come in large, small sizes, steal people's toys, cause mischief. I always love that it's like we don't really have anything to say about the Shy Guys, so we're just gonna list the things that they did in like super literal terms. Love pachyderm. The pesky pachyderm. I guess I was just thinking about it because I'm like, that's weird that it would be Claptrap and then jump to other shit. And I guess it's like the only enemy that what the hell do we not? Oh, I guess because like I guess because we're like doing stage stuff. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I guess. The pesky pachyderm bars usually pass by sticking poles high in the air. Pachyderm has been practicing this skill for years, and he's so masterful that he can even like his high flying jumping flutter jump. I don't know why I misread that. It's a little unstable, however. and he tends to topple over if Yoshi pouncing around. Like, I get that like it's a super small thing in the grand scheme of like Yoshi's story, but like I think that's super cool that that was like a way that you could solve that problem. Tingle, mysterious middle-aged man who thinks he's the very reincarnation of a fairy. His bizarre behavior and unique speech are just little pieces of his vibrant personality. Tingle travels by way of a small hot air balloon, making maps of the planets below him. You know, it's really funny that like Tingle's little gimmick is like his dad is like disappointed in him, but he's like a cartographer. Like that's a hell of a job. And especially like when you're like drawing the maps by hand, like you're not using like computer imaging or whatever. That's like crazy. Tingle's dad should be proud of his weird little successful son. Is all I'm saying. Me moon. I always love. Let's see. Hang on. Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah, get the real spooky lighting going on, and then hello, I showed you my moon penis. Answer me. Or please respond. Damn it. Fuck this meme. High in the sky above the clock tower, its moon menacing sinks towards the city. Surrounded in mystery by, and feared by all threats to devour everything and everyone in the cataclysm of fire. Inside the moon is a beautiful, pristine plain broken up by a single tree, and the moon breaks after Majora's Mask stuff. Cool. Toodle toodle. When Lincoln played the new bossa nova, what masqueraded as his blown island rose out of the waters of the great and revealed itself to be a giant turtle. His mighty Terrapin is ancient and was beyond belief. Its sun seems to have braved the stormy seas in order to transport him to the great debate. Always thought that like Majora's Mask was cool in that it just kind of like did like fantasy stuff, did a lot more like fantasy stuff with Legend of Zelda. Like Ocarina of Time, I feel like was like like more grounded in like political drama or whatever. But this was actual like an actual fantasy quest. Swamp, mountain, ocean, valley. The four who are there. Link summoned these four giant guardians to aid in his battle against a skull kid possessed by Majora's Mask. They appear to be from the four compass points to catch the moon, which is about to crash into Clocktown. Without abandoning the innocent skull kid, they're able to protect the town. Nice. Okay, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see how many more we have. Because Jesus Christ. I mean, we got plenty, but oh, what the hell? Oh, we got more. Holy shit, we have more. Wait, what the fuck? Wait. I guess. Oh, cool. Oh, jeer. Oh, oh, donkey. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Okay, we're about halfway done. We'll just run through it. I got a new job recently, so or it's not that I got a new job. It's that I'm kind of like wrapping up my old one. So like I'm wrapping up my old one. So it's like it's like you don't give a fuck anymore, and you're just kind of there to like serve your penance. That's kind of where I'm at right now, to be honest with you. Where were we? Oh yeah, four giants. Master Sword. Master Sword varies a bit between the titles of the Zelda series. The most powerful blade in the Link can carry. It's a magical weapon that can only be wielded only by a true hero. And as its name implies, it's the weapon of choice in decisive battles. At the end of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Link returned it to its stone pedestal. Interesting. Falcon Flyer, Captain Falcon's speedy, mid-sized cruiser, boasts onboard computers that allow Falcon to control remotely. Perhaps that's why it's never appeared on screen in the game with the ship. Falcon couldn't prowl the galaxy like a lone wolf. Still, Falcon is a steer machine that is not used for F-Zero races. I know people have said that oh the Falcon Flyer appears in the comics or whatever, but like it's not. I don't think I've ever seen it in the comics. Okay, in the year 2050. or 2050s, 2560, and associated in a wealthy space merchants creates Israel Grand Prix and attempts to strong styles, legend artists, no tires, but use G diffuser systems to float. A foot above the surface, many believe that this year's championship is the highest point of flame in the galaxy. That, like, okay, because like I was big into Star Fox, I was big into F Zero, right? So between like James McLeod existing in both F Zero and Star Fox, and also the use of G diffuser systems, and like the fact that one of the endings for Star Fox Command, which I'm aware is not canon, but fuck you. Um, they also like one of the endings is just Fox and Falco like being like F Zero racers essentially is like really neat, and that got my imagination flowing. And it's like, oh, what if they're like in the same galactic sector, you know? And like you can travel there, but it's like the space equivalent of like going to a new country. And like the other thing is that they say that it's like wealthy space merchants, and that really like kind of like sets up like a medieval precedent where it's like buy my wares, but in reality, you know, it's like fucking James Walmart the 16th or whatever the fuck. You know, it's not like people that are actually doing anything. It's all corporate bozos. I love Mute City. I think it's just neat. Like, I remember like, because like, I don't know how to explain this, but like in F Zero, like you see the like the race, right? And you see like a couple of like bigger buildings. And then like you see like little like squares, like when you see like plots of land from like an airplane or whatever, and you're like, oh shit, you know what? Those plots of land are like all the people in F Zero, are all the people in Mute City. F Zero courses are set hundreds of feet above the ground and kept afloat by opposing gravity guard beams on both sides of the track. The city, which grew from an intergalactic trading post to a city with a population of over 2 billion, is most famous stop in the F-Zero Grand Prix. This is, of course, layout from the F-Zero X era. So, like, I know that it's, like, implied that, like, Mute City is, like New York or whatever. I think that's really funny that, like, I think it's funny that they would imply that, like, I love that, like a bunch of future stuff is like, the New York changed its name and the fucking when the fucking aliens came, and it's like we would not change the fuck. We can barely call fucking we can barely call Elliot Page by the right fucking name half the time, let alone fucking changing the name of goddamn New York. That's never gonna happen. That's how you can tell most sci-fi is just like a bunch of like progressive like dreamers because they think we'll be able to like stop calling it New York. I love this R-wing design. Like I get that like I can't place Star Fox Adventures R-wing in my memory because you're in it not so often, but like I know that like Star Fox Assault, like they were really going for like, oh look at this beautiful anime spaceship. But like yeah, I like these are just jets, and it kind of looks like battle worn a little bit. Like the R-wing is a symbol of Star Fox, like an F-Zero Razor. It's equipped with the opposing gravity device. It can barrel and flip with ease thanks to its quick acceleration and flexible control in battle. Ships used retractable wings for flying. Every R-wing has smart bombs on its sub-weapons. Always okay. I'll explain. So the mothership of the Star Fox team when the battle, the ship's robot Rob can assume control of the bridge, allowing all hands to take to their R-wings or combat positions. The ship runs The ship runs plasma engines capable of warp speeds, and its front lasers are effective both in battle and clearing through asteroid belts. I think it's really funny that like whenever you see like a description of the Great Fox in like any game, whether that's like a Smash Bros or like a Star Fox, like maybe I don't know if there's ever been like an in-game bio for anything in Star Fox, but like whenever you see a description, it's like, oh, I can blow through asteroid belts, and like it does that approximately one time in the second level of the easy route of Star Fox 64, and I somebody thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever, and so they just put it in every descriptor of the Great Fox. So Peppy was a member of the original Star Fox team with Fox McCloud's father James. Peppy was the sole survivor of the Battle of Venom. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna just get real nerdy and pedantic for this Star Fox part. So when you watch this in YouTube land, or um you watch this in YouTube land, or if you come to the stream at this exact moment, um like they call it the Battle of Venom here, and like that shit was not a fucking battle. Like these three guys fucking showed up to Venom, and then Pigma and Andros stomped their shit in, or at least Peppy and James. Where a teammate named Pigma Dengar betrayed the team. Peppy now really close into the cockpit of an R-wing, murmuring instead to advisory position and mission planning. I wonder if that's a really interesting line, because like in Star Fox 64 he's very much like, oh yeah, I'm a pilot, but like it's not like implied that like it's like a strain for him or anything. Like it's like I don't know if they just assumed that like the sequel in the game wouldn't have Peppy like as an active team member in it, or if they like got the Iggy from Nintendo about something to do with like whatever like, because okay, I have a fucking conspiracy theory about this. So, like, everybody says that, like, the story of Star Fox Adventures is like, hey, like, Miyamoto came in, saw that they were on a dinosaur planet, and said, hey, why don't we do, like, Star Fox? But as. That could not have been as, like, a. That could not have been as quick a decision as Miyamoto thought, or like as people thought, because like even here, like December of 2000, like they had already decided that like, hey, the Star Fox character should be voiced by like the rare people. So like Chris Seaver, I think, was Peppy, and then like somebody else was Slippy. Um, so I don't know. I would love to like get like an accurate time. I would love somebody to like tell me the date when like Miyamoto walked in and was like, "Hey, this fucking Dinosaur Planet game looks like a fucking Star Fox game." Um, I always loved Slippy, his little hat. It was really funny. Is that like what's really funny is that like the everybody always made fun of Slippy's voice for years, right? And then the Nintendo Giga League comes out, and like uncompressed, Slippy's voice is like fucking fine. It just got murdered in the compression. Slippy Toad is the mechanical genius behind most of Star Fox team's new weapons and technology. Just lately, he's been spending the bulk of his time in research and development. He's a competent pilot, but his enthusiasm tends to outweigh his technical flight skills. He and Fox have ever see. Like, I wonder, like, God, I wonder if somebody at Namco was like reading the trophy descriptions when they were like designing Assault, because like this mentions research and development, and like fucking Beltino Toad in Star Fox Assault is just the research and development guy, and then like the he's like the research and development guy, and then like you get to and then like Peppy is like not an active pilot anymore. So I wonder if these were like the story synopses that they had, and then they're like, oh yeah, let's just use Crystal from Assault because she's hot, or from Adventures because she's hot. Okay. A boss enemy from Metroid Kraid lives in the depths of Brintstar. He immobilizes enemies with his free red eyes and powerful jaws can crush anything. Those are just the three spikes from his belly. It's said that he often fires them at his prey. When Samus defeated Ridley and Crane, the way to Torian opened. So I always wondered about that, right? Where like, imagine if you were like a fucking big like Metroid NES fan, and you played Metroid NES, you beat Kraid, you beat Ridley, and all this, and like you've seen Ridley because like he's like the tutorial boss of the game essentially, and then like you get to Kraid, and it's just this big giant fucking thing. I can't imagine how like mind blowing that must have been. Like if you really internalize like the Metroid experience, I guess is the word. These statues, which provide power-ups to Samus, have some connection with their parents, and in many places, most notably Zeebs, the shows that boasted the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. Some say that when they can advance no further. I think that's really funny. That like the Chozo were like, hey, like let's not advance any further or whatever. And it's like I don't know. I just think it's really funny that it's like instead of like like helping the galaxy or whatever, they're just like yeah, let's just fucking chill. All right, Wispy Woods. I always thought his name was Woody Woods, but I guess I was wrong. Boss enemy from Kirby's Dream Land. Whipsy, Wispy Woods is a big tree. Shoots whirlwinds at Kirby. This is the toughest enemy. Avoid the occasional whirlwind, sucking apples that fall down, and then shoot them at the back of the tree. I always thought that like I don't know. I always thought that like the big 3D renders of Wispy Woods were cool. The mystical fountain of Dreamland uses the power of the star rod to create a gush. Pleasant dreams that flow like water. Dreams become like a fine mist and drift over the scale, bring the powerful rest. One and all, it's been confirmed. You don't really get like a scale of the Fountain of Dreams until you see this trophy, just like how big it is and shit. I'm sorry if I've been like reflexively like spinning the models in the universe, man. This message appears along with the ominous message. No more against Candace. Adding to the new mystery and three more earbuds. Slamok and Skazor. Aliens craft are connected and anyone guess. In melee, they appear. Slippery UFO appears in the 4-side level. Also, this kind of looks like if like a Tesla Cybertruck had titties on it, or like a single tit. Like that really famous like meme picture where it's like they took away my porn, so I'm gonna masturbate to the ceiling titty. That's what that looks like. It's like if you designed the ceiling titty out of fucking Tesla Cybertruck. Trainers come from far and wide to congregate in Pavilion Scales and venues shot their Pokemon teams. There are many different arenas with varying terrain designs, some of which may afford advantages to share Pokemon. The particular stadium is reserved for huge events and boasts a big screen and spectacular fireworks. Ah, shit. Okay, I want to see. This is another one I kind of want to zoom in on. I guess they really did just like copy paste. Huh. I was about to say like I don't know why I thought like hey you can look at like fucking like the crowd or whatever and like see things. I don't know why I thought that. Sorry everybody. Um so I just remembered something I hadn't thought of in a very long time, Pokemon which is when um Pokemon Stadium 2 got revealed as a stage for Brawl. Somebody on I don't know if y'all followed Smashboards, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but somebody on Smashboards like because you could see like they did like this thing where you could see like individual Pokemon in the crowd, which was neat, but it didn't make much sense lore wise, but I thought it was neat. And somebody like circled like a little pink blob, like this indescribable like 140p blob, and they're like, "Oh, this confirms Jigglypuff," and that's kind of what that and like the ultimate that first ultimate trailer where like everybody is silhouetted in flames and people are like circling people and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is Bowser, this is Marth," you know. It's like that kind of cemented my main thought about like predictions and stuff. Where if you are circling a like like an indescribable blob in a in a picture or like you're like yeah if you're just like if you're circling what is a silhouette in like a picture to confirm something, you're thinking about it too hard. All right, and then you got the Game and Watch. The stage of Melee takes the motif from the Game and Watch series, incorporates settings from Oil Panic, Helmets, and Manhole. Sure to send a wave of nostalgia crashing over old school gamers. Truly want to replicate this experience. Try watching this unique and fixed camera mode. You know, I was kind of thinking, I really hope that when I put this on YouTube eventually, that it doesn't, they don't try to like copyright strike the music, because I realize that I've been playing I'm not a believer in like playing games on mute because, like, fuck you, nobody thought about copyright when they were playing video games in my day, and that's how we're gonna fucking live life here. But I am I kind of am suddenly worried that like, oh shit, they might like copyright strike this whole video because it's been 2 hours of the Melee theme looping. This target is destroying a bonus stage of all Super Smash Bros. Melee. All bonus stages are specifically designed to test the individual abilities of each fighter, clearing the target breaking lists. Require the ultimate combination of skill, timing, and specific techniques of each character. Okay, I get like on I get on a real level like why they decided to I get like on a real level why they decided Brawl should be like I they I get why they decided that Brawl should be like, you know, all like everybody shares the same five or whatever target stages, and it's like based on the difficulty of the classic mode. Like I get it, and like I get that it probably was easier to program, and I get that the Wii was like kind of Babby's first console, so they didn't really want to do anything too technical with it. But like, I love me individual target tests, and I think in Ultimate it definitely shows that like some characters like deeply struggle with the some characters deeply struggle with the target like the like the race to the finish mini game in like classic mode. Like Terry can barely do it. Sandbag, you love to see Sandbag. Yeah, you pound on him for the home run contest, and then you swing for the fences, compete for the longest home run time. Um, I think it's funny that in Ultimate they made him like blush, or it, I guess. It made it like anime blush. I think it's super funny, and there's a lot of really weird implications that we just won't get into. All right, so we got Battlefield that borrows settings from many different games. Smash Bros. Does, but the Battlefield is an original creation. While the initial impression of may strike some players as a bit ominous, the layout is fairly standard, laying into some serious straightforward matches. Additionally, it's used to fighters trust. Like, I like the idea that like, do you think that like the Sakurai of 2001 could have imagined that like that the fan base would go like, yeah, we demand every stage be Battlefield. As time passes on stage, the level appears through the wormhole, the imaginary Super Smash Bros. Melee world into reality. I love I love that so much. That like I love that so much that it implies so much. It implies that Master Hand and Crazy Hand have like dimension warping powers, which that kind of like makes the whole like crossover Nintendo World's fucking a thing. But then like they then it's like, yeah, you go through the real world. It's like, yeah, probably like Mount Fuji or something. Like, yeah, if you were high up enough on Mount Fuji, you could just see Final Destination like being towards you. Um, oh god. Okay, we're switching to like the default thingy. Hold on. All right. Goombas are actually traitors who defected from the mushroom game. They're slow and ridiculous. You know, like bless the Goombas because they betrayed Princess Peach one time, and nobody was like, "We're going back." You know, we're on the wrong side of history or whatever. They're like, "No, hail Bowser." Let's see. Common soldiers in Bowser's army, Koopa Troopers can retreat into their shells. Unbelievable as it may seem, they're clearly unaware of being kicked and sent flying in this position. There are many Koopa types, each with different shell color and unique traits. They all wear t-shirts and shorts underneath their shells. So, okay, another tangent because we have not been streaming for 2 hours already. Um, so when I was like high school age, there was this website, and some people, I doubt anyone remembers it. It was called starwing.co.uk. And basically, what it was like one of the things people would post there is like scripts of like real goofy like premises for like your OC would like interview the characters and like shenanigans would happen. And there was one person who I think they just went by Jigglypuff, and their whole thing was they were interviewing. I thought this was a really neat concept that they were interviewing the Melee cast one by one, and like Bowser, something happens to Bowser, and like the OC ends up in Bowser's like shell, and like Bowser's just in like a t-shirt and shorts, and I thought that was really funny because I did not know that that was like an established bit of Koopa lore. These winged Koopas can fly, but they're none too smart. They tend to spend a lot of time simply jumping or fluttering around a small area. As a result, no one exactly thinks of them as majestic soaring creatures. Although, like, I think that's changed because I feel like in like there was some game where it's like like a flocker. Oh no! They're like one of the um. I think one of the partner characters in like Mario. I think like Paper Mario was like a Koopa Air Force guy or something, or like a pilot at least. Okay, yeah. Mario and Luigi jumps on their backs. Okay, 7 years after it took control, Hyrule Redeath roamed the town of Gaston, providing a first language at the skate time. Apparently, to survivor, he later learned. I like. I think that's so funny that they like fucking that they like cheese that out. They're like, oh no, like actually, what ends up happening is like the people actually made it out as opposed to everybody's fucking dead because Ganondorf took over. I just think it would be funny if they actually like went with that and they're like, oh yeah, everybody died. Like fuck you, Link. These common enemies debut in the very first Legends of the game and have been a staple of every game since. They shoot rocks from their mouth at high velocity, but their projectiles are simple to block and do very little damage. Huh. I like the idea. I like that this game just says if you fucking take damage to an Octorok, skill issue, bitch. The in Legend of Zelda, these slow-footed monsters inhaled Link and aided Shield and beat out while masters one of the most aggravating enemies ever. Supposedly, this comes from an old and decipherable Hyrule proverb. Shield eaters and world leaders have many legs alike. I always thought that proverb meant that politicians will like take away your defense or like take away your rights or something, which is a fucking crazy, which is like a fucking crazy proverb to be in a Legend of Zelda game. Somebody must have been. Somebody must have been reading some like. Somebody must have been reading some revolutionary literature when they came up with that one. Oh, we got some Topies. Topies debut in the game. Ice Planner strutting ice, shuttling ice with which to prepare cracks on the floor. They were kept really busy. As Nana and Bobo constantly cracked floors with a single strike of their ice hammers. So the monotony of their chilly work, their creatures never slacked off for an instant. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay. Polar bear. Bizarre beast. Whenever it has numbers, take five during their ascent. Usually upright. Bear. Leave the upright bear makes causes an earthquake and makes a mountain scroll where if the climber swamps the battle screen, will drop into the battle's chest. For reasons unknown, it sports pink shorts and sunglasses. They were really wild in with just the ice climbers, right? They're like, eh, nobody's gonna fucking nobody's gonna play this. Or it's just like it's just like we don't this doesn't need to make sense. Whatever you can program in, great. I love Raccoon Mario in Super Mario Bros. 3. Super leaves cause Mario to grow a raccoon here's his hip by sprinting and rapidly wagging the tail. Gain the ability to fly for short periods like the cape in Super Mario World. The tail all reduced the speed at which he felt, making maneuvers easier. Needless to say, Green Raccoons were jealous. I do wonder if, like, someday we'll get. I don't know why we would, but it would be cool to get the raccoon tail and the cape in like the same game. So again, I don't know why that would happen, but alrighty. Mario and Yoshi. Yoshi was introduced in Super Mario World instead of Mario riding the helpful character. And during the despite this cape, Mario can't fly while astride Yoshi. Future jumps the group slowly back to her boat. His last resort, Mario could leave off Yoshi back to safety. I love that. That there's just like, yeah, we're like. I wonder if that was the jumping off point for that really exhausted meme where it's like you're like betraying Yoshi. Oh hell yeah! Like I said with the metal block, like I spent a lot of time, fucking just running around in Metal Mario because Mario was in surprise for the first time he hit the metal box. Super Mario 64, the metal cap that popped out transformed Mario into living metal, granting great stamina, heavy tread, and the ability to walk underwater. In Super Smash Bros., Metal Mario showed up as an incredibly stubborn mid-level boss. You know what, like, I always thought that was cool. That like they, I don't know. There's just something like budget, like fighting game with no budget about it, where it's just like, yeah, we'll just take the main character and fucking make him metal or something. It's I don't know, because like with how produced these games are, you'd obviously try to make room for a like a separate character to be your mid level boss, but like because why wouldn't you? But also there's something unique about just reusing models because you're strapped for time. The Star Rod. Bowser's still in. Mario wants it back. Bowser vs. Mario is familiar to Mario aficionados, but Paper Mario is novel. While this game brings to 3D, what this game brings to 3D polygon-filled gaming world is its art style. Everything is way too thin. What the visuals lack in realism, they more to make up for an artistry. I don't know about that. Yeah, I get like because it was an RPG, like a lot of the stuff is more like fleshed out than like Mario, than like Super Mario 64 was. I just never saw the appeal of like obviously years later, like when like the Thousand Year Door and like Super Paper Mario came out, like I got it, but like in my N64 days, like in my N64 Mario, like in my N64 like Mario 64's King days, I definitely would not have been like into Paper Mario. Oh yeah, we got look at that dump. Look at that fucking. I'm trying to. Whoa! I've never like I've never like looked at Wario's ass, but he has got. Oh my! Whoa! He's got a dump truck. Damn. An old acquaintance of Mario's, his failure to seize Mario's castle is fused with Wario's desire for a palace of his own. Wario has Herculean strength in things that even Mario can imitate. His unexpected skills include a talent with items and the ability to assume many roles. Please, zombie in a bat. I always thought that, like, I always thought that, okay, I get that again, like, everybody's emulating, everybody is playing on NSO, like, that kind of shit, but, like, if there is a Wario Land game on the NSO somewhere, or, like, you can get your hands on a ROM, like, play it, please. Like, honest to God. Okay. Plum. Okay. Plum is one of the first playable golfers in Mario Golf. She's not all that strong, so she drives like a distance. On the other hand, her strike area is large and allows for refined control. She's a very stable golfer, both well balanced and easy to master, which makes her favorite among beginners and pros alike. I always thought, okay, like I always thought the Mario sports games, for some reason, were like the bastion of the way to get lore out of the Mario series, right? Like I always thought, I always thought that like yeah, I always thought that like Mario I always thought that like the way to get lore out of the Mario games is to like play the sports games. Because like you'd get like really cool like win animations and you'd get like they just be like I don't know. There was just something about like video game characters. There was just something about like video game characters being like vulnerable, and like shitty about losing. That was like really appealing to me, especially because like Mario games are just like the Mickey Mouse of like Nintendo. So like obviously you're not gonna like see him lose and shit. The Princess of Sarasaland. Daisy met Mario when you have defeated the evil alien Tanga. Both of them. In Super Mario Land, Princess Daisy is a bit of a tomboy when compared to her counterpart. Princess Peach, after her appearance in Mario Golf, some gossip start portraying the answer to Mario's Peach. I've got to see something real quick. Okay, how do you do this? Does it? Do you just? Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't have the third eye. Maybe the. Huh. I have to look at it again. Okay. The tall, thin, looking guy. This needs to be Luigi's rival. He works hard at his mischief. Waluigi reportedly spent a lot of. I like the idea that like Waluigi is not like. I like the idea that like Waluigi off the clock is not Waluigi. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. Like the fact that he trained for his debut in Mario Tennis by like honing his ability to antagonize the Mario Brothers. That means that like he fucking took out like a classified ad. Like that's not like he's not in any way related to the Mario Brothers. He's not related to Wario. He's just a guy doing a job. And you know what, base? Thwomp spent most of our time suspended in midair, waiting. When Mario passed below, they crashed down. The vision feet, as you may guess from their appearance, they're heavy and solid. I always thought it was weird. Okay, so they're small ones are called flints, spread their weight around and form groups and bends around. I like always thought it was weird that they never did like the Mario Kart or Super Mario 64 Thwomp design for this, but eh. Boo. Shy spirits inhabits Mario's world and have been known to vanish while free. It's one not to be established. In many years they've overcome their fears. It usually appears in groups and flying formation from time to time. Giant with this kind of appearance. I always thought that this looks cool. Like I always thought this looked cool because like it's clearly like Bowser just looks fucking manic. Like he's like, "Argh!" Single sheet personal airship doesn't exactly handle like a dream. It wasn't designed to be sporty. The Koopa Clan car made to carry Bowser's huge weight, not to mention just fighting him at a massive bowling ball. I like that that's like his only weapon in the clown car. It's like just bowling balls. Like it's like they like, clearly they like reinvented it with like Bowser Jr. later, but like I don't know, it's just funny. These contagious little viruses make life difficult for Dr. Mario. They infect everything they come into contact with, and good Dr. must attempt to neutralize it. Trusty mega vitamins. Dr. Mario can stop these pesky germs by lining up the multivitamin capsules. Same color with the nasty microorganisms. I always thought that the I always thought that the gold the viruses looked like um the, like they looked like Slimer from Ghostbusters in Mario and Wario. This excellent game released only in Japan. This hidden item gets placed on Mario's head, rendering him sightless. The very one the helpless Mario has numerous obstacles to the goal. The N on the bucket becomes a W when turned upside down, signifying that Mario has fallen into Wario's wicked control. I think that's funny that they're like. I think it's funny that they're like, "Hey, this fucking game you'll never play." Like, I always wondered, like, you know, as a kid, you're like, will I ever get the opportunity to play Mario and Wario or like a Fire Emblem? The famous racing cards from the ever popular Mario Kart racing series came loaded for speed with three differences: 500 or 50, 100, and 150cc. The cart's handling differs with the characters driving it, but all of them utilize Mario Kart standards like jumps and drifts and turbo. They're extremely durable and impossible to total. I think it's funny that like yeah, this is the de facto standard for Mario Kart. It's got to like Mario Kart 8 where you can like drive in a Mercedes SUV and shit. Long ago, when the stork was carrying baby Mario and baby Luigi to the Mario house, the stork was ambushed by causing baby Mario to tumble into Yoshi's island. This marked the Yoshi's beginning of the Yoshi's adventure to deliver baby Mario to his parents. Since then, baby Mario has been surrounded on golf courses and tennis courts. Interesting. I never really noticed. He's got like little like baby boy shoes. Baby Bowser, even as a youngster, Baby Bowser was already playing pranks and causing trouble for Baby Mario and his pal Yoshi. Even at this early age, at his evil career, Baby Bowser had tons of henchmen at his disposal. Many experts speculate that Mario and Bowser have some sort of connection, which is back to their mutual births. I read like a ton of fan fiction that fucking ran wild with this concept that like Mario and Bowser are like intrinsically linked. The laid back ravens come and sizes Marlin, Stravel, and Fox and turn speeds around platforms all day long. Face Brave Raphael. He's the one that's like the galaxy. Okay, that's cool. More than just Diddy Kong's girlfriend. Diddy Kong is also very relatable teams there. She earned her. She's hoping Diddy rescued Donkey Kong. Such as a King K. Rool. She's amazingly quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can even twirl her ponytail in order to float slowly through the air. Wow, they really said like we're not using Kitty and Dixie. We're gonna invent whole new ass characters, fucking Tiny and Chunky. Always thought this render of King K. Rool is sweet. All right, we're gonna zoom in on this one actually. Look at him. Look at him. This may be the ideal. You may not like it, but this is the ideal body type. Look at this fucking shit. Always loved. Okay, this has to be a Donkey Kong 64. I feel like yeah, that has to be Donkey Kong 64. Yeah, because they bring up the Blast-O-Matic, the minute head of the Kremlins and Big Boss in the Donkey Kong Country series. PK rolls a giant greedy glutton with serious eye tick. While he fits the evil boss mode nicely, he's just nice and he's just he's just enough of a bumbler to have gained a few fans over the years. It's fun to blow up the DK outs. The last dramatic shows how unbalanced he is. Alright, cool. That's neat. Alright, and then we got Goron. Most Gorons inhabit the slopes of Dead Mountain. They can achieve incredible speeds by crawling up in the balls and rolling. They also curl up in small balls to sleep very gentle and comfy. Later, Daronia is impassioned and brave. They make blades and mobs. So I guess like I never really thought about this, but I guess Gorons are kind of like the dwarves of of metal of Legend of Zelda. Marin. I had the biggest crush on Marin because like when I was like 10 or 11, because just based off this trophy, because she was like a fucking pretty blonde girl in like a wispy dress, and that's all I needed at the time. Marin is a young girl who gives her Link ever shipwreck watching the short on the Koholint Island. She's very talented artist, well liked, very kind and gentle nature. She also has the ideal truth in her Link skills and fingers. She'll greet him with the shout of thief. Interesting. A lonely skull kid puts on Majora's Mask and unknowingly allowed a great evil to invade the land of Termina. The mask manifests his evil power, of course, and leaving him skull kid merely a puppet under his benevolent power. The ultimate battle with Link, Majora's Mask transformed into three separate forms. The Ocarina, the treasure of the House of Hyrule, was entrusted to young Link when the chief end of the Ganondorf insurrection. Fucking, I could make a joke, but yeah, they'll probably kick me off Twitch. Uh, Spears of the stones that opened the way to where the Master Sword rests in Majora's Mask. This gave Link limited control over time, but as other uses fun to play as a music. I like how they had to explain that, like as an aside, the ocarina is a fun musical instrument. Alright, Samurai Goro. Rival bounty hunter, Samurai Goro has crossed paths with Captain Falcon in many a dark corner of the universe. He also goes head to head with Falcon F-Zero, so their thread of fates deeply intertwined. Goro is famous for his katana. His signature t-shirt is instantly recognizable. Okay. But like, again, I'm gonna keep bringing this up as we talk about Dr. Stewart, who inherited the golden fox upon the death of his father, and primarily soon became an F-Zero pace setter, the Fox, which bears the number 3. It doesn't have the high structure underneath, but any skill pilot will thrill at the sensation of drifting through corners. The machine requires a high degree of technical ability. Jody Summer, ex-fighter pilot. Jody brings her skills to Zero Ground Pieces and Bethra, but the interstellar regime, her machine, the White Cat, is not built for strength or endurance. That's crazy. However, it's incredibly light and has excellent traction. A good manager for beginners. But why is it? It's a solid all-around racer. So, what I was trying to say was like, hey, if you fucking get the chance, look up the F-Zero X artwork for everybody. It's fucking crazy. I love it so much, and like F-Zero X in general, between like the kind of the Liefeld art and um between like the Liefeld art and like the metal music, it's very like 90s going into Y2K kind of deal, and it's like actually great. I just think it's pretty fucking cool, actually. Alright, let's see here. Oh hell yeah, the Wolf. Oh yeah, and then Team Star Fox I powered anti-aircraft hover tank is like Caterpillar like Dreadful. Girls can even fly for short periods of time. So again, like fucking Assault, like the Landmaster is a concept that Assault took and they ran with. And it's kind of insane actually that they ran with it like the way that they did, because it's fucking I'm gonna One of these days, I'm gonna play Star Fox Assault on stream because I love that game so fucking much. Alright. Okay, so the beloved ship of the mercenary team Starwolf, which was hired to destroy Fox and his team. The ship's ability rivals that of an R-Wing. As a matter of fact, the Wolf N2 was an improvement over its predecessor. It could nearly outperform Star Fox team ships. Star Fox is Star Wolf's leader. Wolf of Donald is the most persistent rival. Okay, like, yeah, that's all cool. Venom 2 is fucking nice twist where you fight Star Wolf and they're fucked up and they fight you with the machines or whatever. Like that's cool or whatever, but like what was I gonna say? Like I don't think unless like there's some concept art I haven't seen or something, I don't think there's a full body render of Wolf until I guess Assault. Like I guess Assault is kind of when everybody like especially Star Wolf. I think is when they get their full body renders. I could be completely fucking wrong about that. Star Fox is arch enemy. Whether it's a metallic manifestation or Andros of just a hologram is unknown, but its outward appearance is safe to assume it's not the Fiend's true form. Andros occasionally sucks matter in and then violently exhales, sending out a cloud of metal tiles. Its eyes are its weak points. Okay. I don't know if y'all have seen a fox in space, but my god, that shit is so good. And like it's so like Star Fox SNES coded that like I would not be surprised if like the final episode didn't have like a big ass fucking battle with like holographic Andros. I think that'd be cool. Let's see here. And then we've got this incarnation of Andros is to be so big it's been ridiculous. At least appeared to be a living being. Andros was a brilliant scientist, but was banished for the galaxy from his Spanish experiments. In the planet Venom, Andros Freddy is directed toward vengeance toward the Lilac system. I don't know. I think that's cool. So I just love. I just love the trilogy of games from Star Fox 64 to Star Fox Assault is seriously fucking great. I mean, even Adventures, even though it's not really what people wanted, I don't think, but it's still technically a great game. It's kind of in that like Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts sort of space where like yeah, it's a great game, and like if it didn't have like an IP attached to it, like it'd be like kind of a mid, it'd be like a mid platformer or whatever, like a mid, whatever it was trying to be, but with like a fan base, but it would not be like they tied it to like a recognizable IP from they tied it to like an original IP from which people had very like specific ideas about what they wanted and like and then they didn't get that and then like Nintendo and like Microsoft had the audacity to be like why are these people upset and I hate that for the devs like the people that actually worked on the game because like they clearly tried their best and put out a great game despite but like in both cases but like oh man it's bad. It's said that Samus was orphaned and raised by a few survivors of chosen race. They armed her suit with a power suit and taught her the ways of combat, even when burdened with her heavy suits. Samus is graceful as a butterfly. In the Metroid series, it was standard for Samus with her helmet and armor if you cleared the game fast enough. Okay. Everybody kind of has that moment where they found out, like, oh yeah, Samus is a girl, whether they played Metroid or Super Metroid or whatever. But I think um, I think I found out because of Brawl, because this was like an exclusive trophy So I wouldn't have gotten that knowledge here, but I certainly remember like Zero Suit Samus. So the Brawl trailer was probably when I found out. Okay, we got Samus' starship, the compact ship used by Samus in both her base of operation. Of course, Samus can't fly into the catacombs of her planet she visits, so she leaves it on the surface as her sanctuary. Samus can recharge her power soon inside the ship, so it tends to be the only safe and secure spot on this inhospitable alien terrain. Cool. I always thought Samus's ship was cool. Like I get that like having the ship in the shape of like your brand TM is like cringe now, but like yeah, this is pretty sweet. You got a Metroid, a parasitic life form that can absorb all types of energy. Metroid is strong resistance to conventional weaponry to defeat them. Samus Aran had to defeat some of that. Metroid. Ultralight Metroid. Future internal nuclei. Oh, I love fucking Ridley. He just looks like 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 I get that like he kind of has to have he kind of has to have like a stance with arms and legs and things for ultimate, but here he just looks like a fucker. All right, the head of the space pirates on Zebes. Ridley swarms through space on wicked wings. Ridley may look like a mindless monster, but he's actually quite intelligent. After the SO-388 incident, where Samus captured the Avenger, Ridley took the space academy by storm, annihilating the complex and taking the Metroids back. Okay, and then you got your fucking Kirby hats. Not super into that. I do like the Ryu headband though. That's cute. You got your Waddle Dees. Didn't care. Okay. Like the brown stuff on a Waddle Dee has to be fur, right? Because like in some games they look fuzzy, but in other games they just kind of look like they've just got like a weird like clay consistency. King DDD. DDD is the self-proclaimed leader of Dreamland. He's the king. You know, DDD now performs an undisturbed function of Dreamland. I mean, that's most monarchs. To be honest, I like how they're like. I like how they're like, ah, oh, fucking DDD performs no administrative functions. He's such a piece of shit. But like, that's most monarchs. Uh, he's able to suck in air and fly just like Kirby does, but only as a result. I wish a vigorous training he took after beating Red Kirby. I wish we could see that like in a cutscene, just like fucking DDD just going full like Eye of the Tiger on it. Rick made his debut alongside other friends Coob and Klein. He may look like a meat hamster, but when he pops up, he's bigger than Kirby. I do I get that like Kirby doesn't necessarily need sidekicks because he's such a malleable little creature, but I kind of miss like Rick and Gooey. When Kirby's we grabs him in his Kirby, the Kirby Dream Wow, they really kind of like they kind of like said like not fuck you, but like they really did be like, oh, Mennonite's cooler and he's player 2 now. So like fuck you, Rick, and fuck you, Gooey. The mysterious head of the Mennonites who wields a sword to combat shortened it down. Strict adherence to his good effects. I like the idea that fucking Meta Knight and Kirby are like the only people with like ethics, and everybody else would just like stab their grandma to get a Cheeto. Paula, oh god, I'm sorry. Paula is the Psy Master. Uses her incredible psychic abilities to call Ness from afar. Ness rescued Paula from the blue stain clutches of the happiest. The fact that Paula gets rescued from a cult is so fucking funny. Like just Earthbound deals with so many adult themes. It's so funny. This didn't know either PK Thunder or PK Thar, so Paula probably taught him these techniques. Another one of Ness closest friends in Earthbound. Donuts, Jason, mechanical genius. I need to like. I know everybody says this, but like I need to play Earthbound. It like I always say I'm gonna play Earthbound, and then it like sucks because it's like antiquated even by like 1995 standards. Who the crown prince of a mysterious country of Dalam joined as after completing rigorous training in his own country. What do you mean? While he doesn't stand out, he's like karate boy. His vast experience and strong willpower make him a key to their success. Who can well, like he can fucking. What do you mean? He doesn't stand out amongst his friends? Like, yeah, fuck you. He can transform. Like, what are you talking about? And then you've got like, I always thought the Starmen were like cool. Like, I always thought the Starmen were like cool little like alien enemies. And It'd be cool to see like, I don't know, like just like a gooey guy that could like fucking teleport and stuff. That'd be neat. Bulbasaur is a cute Pokemon. See, Charmander. This is one of the only two Pokemon available as Pokemon written evolves into Venusaur. A friend of mine once called Bulbasaur an onion frog, and I can't unsee it. Also, Poliwhirl is a tadpole Pokemon able to live on either water or land or in the water. Was on dry land, expensive, so you keep its skin nice and slimy when it's in danger. It spends a whirlpool marking on its stomach to put enemies to deep sleep, and then it evolves into either Poliwrath or Politoed. A Poliwrath is a superior evolution. I don't really care who knows that. Every Ditto has the ability to copy a Pokemon's entire self. So my brother and I, okay, they're terrible at remembering techniques, but when they use transform, they temporarily remove all of the starts to life again, ultimate transformation. So my brother and I were playing Pokemon Stadium 2 the other day, and he like put Ditto on his team because he just thought it looked cool. He's kind of a, he's just kind of a, cars, kind of, standard manly man. So he doesn't really know much about the Pokemans, and he put Ditto on his team because he just thought it looked cool. Like, I don't know, I forget what happened, but like I used Mean Look on him, and then because I had like an Umbreon, and then he used Mean Look on me, and then he very quickly ran out of things to do, and so he fucking like was like struggling against him. Adaptable yet. Use evolutionary progress changes meet the condition of its environment. So far, find evolutionary forms have been discovered as catalog. I always thought it'd be cool. I don't know. I always thought it'd be neat, like if you. I mean, they could have done it with Let's Go Eevee, but I think thought it would have been cool if they'd like made a Pokemon game where you're like an Eevee farmer or something, and you can like build your team as such, but only with EVs. A little bit feisty. That's description of these water type Pokemon. Something with it, something with the the crocodile. Okay. I look at Totodile now, and all I can see is that fucking I helped, I bite. The like comic. I forget. I don't know who does that comic, but it's so fucking funny. I love it so much. Oh, I love Crobat. He's such a cool Pokemon. A bat Pokemon that evolves from Golbat. Crobat's unlike transforms everywhere wings, which limits ability to resist the effect from a Golbat has for its trainer. I God, if you saw a bat with four wings, okay. Oh, never mind. I was wrong. That what? Fucking whoever wrote these character descriptions fucking high because that is not Diddy. That is not star shaped. Still, no, it still doesn't resemble stars. Cleva is often cited in the night sky filled with shooting stars. Cleva evolves into Clefairy, but only if it has a strong bond of friendship with its trainers. Its focus at cute level. I love that half of these Pokemon are just like collectors on it, like pets, and it's just like, yeah, we're not gonna make it be not a puppy. Jigglypuff, which evolves into Jigglypuff, are so incredibly elastic, they always seem to be constant. Stubby legs and bounding from place to place faster than walking. Jigglypuff have an nice Steelix. Always, again, another, like, Steel Pokemon when it, like, when Gen 2 dropped was like an all timer between Steelix and Scizor, even if it wasn't like very much. It has the longest Pokemon yet to be discovered. 30 feet. Jesus. How do you, like, okay, like, oh man, you'd have to be on a farm or something, and even then, pleasure of being made to run stronger than dying. Okay, cool. I love Heracross. Another great. Heracross are powerful creatures. Oh shit. Heracross are powerful creatures that evolve into the lies their form. Those on their foes, and then touch them over there. Immense power. Mega horror moves individuals that often several types of Pokemon that can be found by shaking trees. This is Meowth's dream. Meowth strides all over the globe, scattering invitations to the Pokemon. This is Pandemia's party at this wonderful party. Guess your cat. Sardines me out the punches. Beautiful cards. Raise the guitar. Pauses in the rocks world. I love it. Like this is all like because of the. I like that this is all because of the that one demo that turned out to be like a Pokemon channel thing. That was neat. Um, the leading expert in study of Pokemon. It seems there are always new and undiscovered species of Pokemon that we brought to life in the struggles. Higher than all. Besides, when he put this as one of his inventions, new trainers receive one, and a Pokemon to boot when they start out. Okay, this is like one of my favorite trainers, or this is one of my favorite trophies because there's a lot to dissect here. First of all, fucking Professor Oak looks like he's like I know that he's supposed to be like pointing at something on a chalkboard while adjusting his lab coat, but it just kind of looks like he's like throwing a gang sign, like he's fucking MDK all day, and like it looks like he's throwing a gang sign. His pants are too big, like clearly they're like dress pants, and then I don't know what are going on. What are those? Like what's going on with his shoes? I mean, like because you can see his socks even when. So they're not like normal dress. So he's just like wearing his loafers around. That's sick as hell. All right, Misty. R.I.P. to your voice actress. Misty's Australian gym leader and a real tomboy. She looks so many outfits. Aquatics, at some point, striking other types. Common among gym leaders reflect their personality and preferences. The 0-1. Again, I should play Pokemon Snap on. You know what? That might be like if I don't immediately go back to. If I do not immediately hold on, I'm gonna break for a second because I'm gonna see if because I saw because I wanna play Star Fox Assault for real, right? But like I want to get it at like a fair price. Okay, let's see what we got here. What has it got? Oh shit, not bad. Yeah, I don't need like the manual and shit. I just need the game. Yeah, disc only. About about $31, which I think is cheaper than half these listings here. Are these people bidding right? I don't really want to bid for. I honestly don't want to fucking bid for this because it's not a game I want super bad to begin. Ooh, 24 and 3. Oh, massive. I have to take you up on that, Mr. Guy. What the hell? Sorry, I'm looking at eBay listings for Assault right now. Um, zero bids, 2 days. Or you, I love that. Or you can just pay like $49.99. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go for this because I just found a fucking copy of. Oh, okay. Okay, I found. Oh, do they not do PayPal anymore? They probably don't do PayPal, or they do. Okay, I'll figure that out later. Minnie was a wild Pokemon, da da da. Live on the Pokemon Island. And avid cameraman Todd. I like that Todd's last name is Snap. I think that's very funny. Uh, needs to get close to them. The 01 is fully automated. Its process is monitored and controlled by a series of strategically located beacons. The vehicles can instantly change its shape and allow the water to travel by land, water, and air. I think that's cool. Maru Marahuge. His name is Maru Marahuge. He has a splendid mustache and is the eldest son of a long-established car dealership. After stints in Tennessee, Germany, convenes strictly against several affairs of business. His family fled Marahuge. I need to like. I wonder if there has to be an English patch of fucking Car Gear. Like all these games have English patches, so I should. I don't know if I'd play it, but I'd love to watch a Let's Play maybe. 18-year-old wave race competitor from Japan. While he doesn't appear to have one outstanding trait, his acceleration, top speed, and maneuverability quite well balanced in wave race. Blue Storm. He's done away with his helmet and goggles, tend to make his face more recognizable in the world. Hell yeah. A member of the vertical air Kensuke Kimachi. He's 19 years of age, top water in Japan, but his team's working on achieving world class ranking. Kensuke is a mellow, laid back guy. Gets bored in his school. There's a lot of Nintendo games. It's not right. I'm a love giant, baby. I don't know. I always thought Love Giant would be the name for like a fun name for like a Barry White esque, a Barry White fucking song. A reincarnation of his son that appears as solitary. Sassy is Dutch and feeds on the emotions of the Islanders. Okay, I always okay. Have you ever seen Doshin the Giant? Like, have you ever watched like a Let's Play of that game? It looks fucked. Like, it looks fucked. And I think Nintendo saw everything on there and was like, yeah, everything on this looks everything on the DD, I should say, and it decided everything looks fucked. All right, destroy. The custom Robo games feature small robots that inches in height. Raymark 3. Oh, that's another game that's really fucking good. It's the custom Robo on the Gamecube. Oh, that's so fucking. Oh, that might be. That might be. That might be like a couple months down the line, maybe. Just I don't know. Okay, Bayonetta. I would love to play. I have like a Japanese converter for. Huh, that'd be neat. I would love to play Custom Robo too, actually. Brothers used the strike manager model as a base, but then added a number of stealth capabilities. I that'd be cool. Like I would love to play um I would love to play uh Custom Robo for the GameCube, but then I'd also love to play Custom Robo 2 because that storyline always looked cool, like the chick from the Cartoon Academy. It's the story felt like I always loved like the custom Robo synopses. Like it always is like reading the back of like a box on like an anime or something. Custom. Now that I think about it, custom Robo was another thing that I absolutely made like that like another purchasing decision that I absolutely made based off of Spish. Because I was just like, oh shit, it's that game, and then played it, and then like the what? Hell yeah, fucking Tom Nook, baby, your naked ass. I'm glad that they like. I'm glad that they addressed the nakedness because he looks like a flasher. That guy is a friendly neighbor to Trump. You know what? Like everybody says that like Tom Nook's evil, right? But then like he fucking helps you fucking get a house, and then he gives you a loan at no interest, which is fucking crazy to think about. Yeah, and then it becomes a thriving supermarket and shit. Okay, Tom Tatakiki. I would have. I get that like KK Slider, they had to like Americanize the name, but it'd be really funny if it was just Tatakiki. He plays in front of the train station every Saturday night, starting at 8 p.m. He has a live repertoire. He plays the old and new hits from all over the world. Some in the buildings, I would love like that. Oh, that's another game that I could play someday. Is oh god, what the hell? Apparently, I dropped like 1,000 frames at some point and just missed it completely. Which in a 3 hour stream, uh, 105,000 frames is like 2% of the entire stream, which is hilarious. Prepare to get really long talking to if you reset this game. The next time you play, Resetti will be delivered pistol. No matter how what your intentions are, pressing the reset button will bring you face to face with this favorite character. Sometimes the only way is just shut up and apologize. I think that's really funny that like I don't know. I think having a character that shows up when you reset is very funny and um very funny and very enormous blade. I think they just put this game on NSO, or they did like a couple months ago. It's pretty sick. Current sets up in specialized helicopter. This is a completely impractical Elon Musk helicopter to to rescue his siblings who have lost their way somewhere among 10 worlds. The helicopter is fitted with an enormous blade which propels the machine forward by slowly rotating. This mazes that Curran must navigate are narrow and filled with all kinds of strange obstacles. Again, another. I don't think I'd play that on stream, but I should play it. Um, a creature is an imaginary cubist world where survival of the fittest rule. Creatures have strong. They really had like believe. I think this is like Cube World or like Cube Land or some shit. But like I remember, like you assume that these games are gonna be like big deals, but then like you fucking play it, or like you fucking see it and then you don't hear about it again. Vacuum Luigi, stranger. It's a huge mansion. You know, at least the mansion existed. That turned out to be haunted. Because that's like some like that's like a Nigerian prince scam. Luigi fucking was like, hey, we're fucking going for it. I wonder if Luigi was so desperate to move out of Mario's house, he was just like, I'll fucking like when I was like job hunting, I was that way about jobs where I'm just like, yeah, I'll fucking sell insurance for the Russian mob. I don't give a shit. Like as long as the checks don't bounce, I'm cool. Oh man. Okay. Turns out to be haunted after running into a weird professor named Alvin Guy, who's not been playable in anything, which is real fucking weird. Mario's trapped in there. Can Luigi save him? Because like you think about it, and you like you think about it, and you'd think that like like Egad would have been like primo guy to be in um would have been like primo guy to be in like Mario Kart or something, but he just hasn't, and it sucks. The strange being for plant animal. They spend their time very near before you ever play. Look at Flare, the life of the pigments was fragile and beautiful. They really like somebody was like glucking putting when somebody was glucking fucking Miyamoto's wee wee on this one. Because they're like, oh yeah, we're fucking putting the socks on for fucking Olimar, who crash lands on a mysterious planet after spatial malfunctions. And okay, in order to get off the planet, you must gather the pieces of the broken ship. But the atmosphere of the planet is poisonous, and as a result, he has to help the native Pikmin. I think that Pikmin is a very impressive game technically, but I have no interest in playing it whatsoever. Um, I don't even really like. It's not my kind of game. I'm not really into RTS. The top of the line motocross motorcycle accelerate crazy when it's turbo, but this also causes temporal gauge to run rapidly if used too often. The bike will overheat. You can cool your hot bike and run special icons and ups the track. Insane errors. Oh yeah, Tamagon. This is the main character of Japanese NES game that were released in North Americans. Means your goal is to work your way through a series of mazes, cyclopean henchman of a large wing. It's just Devil World. I think they called it Demon World, but it's called Devil World. Okay. Donkey Kong Jr. came to the rescue challenge. Just collect the keys. Donkey Kong's cage while dropping fruit on enemy triangle. He's able to use multitask using two guns at once. Tennis and mathematics. I like the idea that um the only reason why Donkey Kong Jr. got any ploy whatsoever, like in the N64 eras, they're like, yeah, we or like Super Nintendo era was like, yeah, we don't want to fucking like animate fucking Donkey Kong's whole shit. The friendly fell targets in the game don't they appear randomly and fly. Run train escape visual if slightly clamorous. Hunting dog. Punch flowers. When she drops the ducks, the dogs like Boobles. Zero bubble can only move straight ahead and has problems stopping. She changes pen. Bubbles make contact with a sea urchin, she'll pop and deflate like a balloon. Bubbles protects yourself by shocking sea urchins and pushing them whilst to strike them. Okay, cool. Like Bubbles. I don't know why. I guess because of the thing she's holding onto. I was like, yeah, maybe she could like hit people with that. Yeah, she's like we were just like back in the day, we were just assuming that like anybody that was like a trophy was gonna end up in the next Smash game some way and just like attached themselves to these fucking weird ass characters. I don't think anyone attached themselves to Eggplant Man, who debuted as an enemy in the game Wrecking Crew. Even though his movement pattern was very simple, he was a very formidable foe. Since Mario and Luigi had a very limited target, you could enemy drumming a dead end drum on him or blowing up the room. Always thought Mock Rider looked sweet though. Like I'm kind of amazed that like of all the characters that made it into Smash as like playable characters, Mock Rider was not one of them. Let's see. After the destruction of his hometown, Mock Rider jumped onto his machine gun equipped combat motorcycle. See, like he's got a machine gun equipped motorcycle, and he's destroying all the quad runners. Yeah, Mock Rider, we're joined together. I like Balloon Fighter too. Two balloons, depriving them of its flotation. So if you lose one balloon, it points to drive and it becomes harder to rise. As you can find both balloons and there's still into the two player test. The balloon's name is unknown. I like the idea that like there was somebody like the balloon's name is unknown. I wonder if they just had a sentence they had to write and it was just like I'm just gonna say whatever bullshit, or if it was like I wonder if like somebody was like I wonder if somebody was like, yeah, like, is his name Doug Balloon? Like, Stanley is a plug-in exterminator who takes on Donkey Kong Army of Insects in the third installment of the original Donkey Kong series. Stanley has a tough job. Keep Donkey Kong away from another greenhouse with the and pump the main hive with the deadly spray. I wonder if it's kind of the same thing with like the nuts and bolts or like Star Fox Adventures principle, where like rather than like because they like innovated too hard, they're just like fuck Donkey Kong Country 3 when like technically it's a good game, The head of Palutena's personal bodyguards bid travel near and far to gather three sacred treasures. Help them defeat the evil goddess of darkness Medusa and free Palutena, the goddess of light. Pit couldn't fly with its little wings, only the wings of Pegasus let him take flight. Will Pit ever fly again? I wonder. Yeah, they definitely were like, yeah, Pit's in the next game. Dr. Wright, the assistant to the mayor of Sim City. Dr. Wright is actually named the Dragoon of the game as a player. You have to use your wisdom experience to get family wisdom. You get job in the city prosper. Dr. Wright is one of the bizarre hair tale. Donbe and Hikari will be in the car version of the classic Japanese folktale. The game of our fearless rangers time they drove the evil from the island of ogres. They are accompanied by Ringo the dog, Matsuzuke the monkey, and Ohana the pheasant. I wonder, like, if you're driving ogres from a place called the fucking Isle of Ogres, are you not just colonizing at that point? Okay, Aomi is the hero of the Detective Club games, which were made in the Famicom Disk System. In the first installment of the series, Aomi solves a murder of one of her best friends. Shortly thereafter, Jones will investigate a agency. Since those early days, she's been proven to a daring and fearless crime solver. I wonder, like, that was a weird when they announced the like. Oh God, sorry. When they announced the Detective Club games, like when they announced the Detective Club games, that like the remakes, that was such a weird fucking day. Just one of those games that you never would think they would ever fucking. Okay, we're like 3 trophies away. Fucking okay, cool. The rally car tore up dirt and raced through uncharted lands in the Disk System game 3D Hot. All was incensed, the elder goes in a strong shot. Deal with horrible roads and other obstacles. Mario and Luigi are command of the car, although they don't show themselves in the game very often. Sure. Like I didn't get the sheriff trophy when I was a kid, but I would have been like upset. Like I would have like gone like sheriff. Like I definitely went through like an old arcade games like phase where I'm like, oh shit, I want to like play Pac-Man on an original machine or something, and like I and then I like wanted to do that, and it was cool. And like, I definitely would have gone on like a road trip for like a sheriff machine if I was aware of it. Sheriff is a game with a particularly long history. I mean, even among classic Nintendo games, the aim of Sheriff's gun by way of an 8-directional dial control. Depressed to fire. The goal of the frontier shooter was to deter from ne'er do wells. Somebody wanted to write ne'er do wells really bad. I'm a big fan of. Wait, what the fuck? Wait a minute. I think we missed a couple, which is fucking crazy to say, but the hell? I'm looking for something real quick, because I could have sworn, because before we did the last two, I could have sworn, hold on, I know, hold on, we missed some shit, actually. Not a lot, but I think there's one very important one that we missed. Okay, here we go. Nintendo's little bundle of it is sleek content, full of cutting edge technology incorporating. I don't think it's cutting edge. I don't think even at the time it was cutting edge. Melee is a copy of this wondrous device. Nice. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Somehow we missed the GameCube controller in this some bitch. I don't know how or why we managed that. Yeah, and then you. Okay. Yeah. Peripheral device release. Using it as a naked rewriting instrument. Line out the instruction booklet was sold separately for 100 yen. This system's first game was Legend of Zelda. And with that, my friends, we are done. 4 hours fucking later, my god. So I kind of streamed with no notice on a Thursday night, and that's my bad. And so as a result, I didn't really get a crowd this time, but hopefully, when Twitch gives me the opportunity um, to like take the video and like stream it or whatever, or download it, I can put it on YouTube and we can all hang out. Y'all can watch it there on YouTube Land, and if you are, thank you so much for watching. I will see you later.